Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezie. I'm joined by the R&B connoisseur, the music historian, the R&B sensation, DSJ. What's good, bro?
What's going on, Unc? How you feeling?
Man, I'm all right, man. We're fine. We finally get a chance to wrap back around to this conversation, huh?
Yes, we do. Yes, we
Okay.
do.
Okay. So for those of you watching the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, coming back and hanging out with us. The fellas have this carousel excuse me, carousel conversation about R&B, the impacts of R&B and the what's the word I'm looking for? The neglected parts of R&B that still exist. And so today we want to talk about a certain era of R&B, and those are the years between 1986 and 1990. So we titled the name of the show "Twisted," the Wonder Years. I guess what we can call it, right? I guess we can call it the Wonder Years or whatever we want to call it. But between 1986 and 1990, there was definitely a bunch of new R&B on the scene. But DSJ, I want to ask you first, before we go there, what do you remember in the world? Like what was the world like when this music came out? Do you remember what the world was like? Can you speak to what the world was like between 86 and 90 and thus why that music hit the way that it did?
Sure. I remember school buses, um, elementary school.
Okay.
I remember fashion, high top fades, three lines in your hair.
Yeah.
Um, I remember denim suits, acid denim suits for some reason. Oh God.
Dapper Dan. Yeah. Yeah.
Triple fat goose.
Oh yeah. Not double fat.
Nah,
Had to
nah.
be triple
Mm-mm.
fat.
I remember those sweaters with the leather patches on the shoulder and on the elbows.
And on the elbows. Yes.
Olive colored. Olive colored.
Ugh. Yeah.
I
And
remember. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say also remember girls with the barrettes.
Ooh.
Usually white big pigtails, barrettes.
Mm.
I remember Eddie Murphy being at the top of his game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember a lot of the guys in R&B were wearing suits, and for some reason it was cream colored, olive colored. I don't know what's going on with these earth tone colors, but that used to be the vibe.
Earth tone colors were the vibe back then and stuff. That was the vibe
Yeah,
back then.
that was the vibe. I also remember things like the Bart Simpson T-shirts,
Yes. On
the button
Fulton
your
Street.
fly. Yeah, the button your fly. Levi's campaign.
Yeah.
Those were the times though. Those were the times.
All right. All right. All right. Did that era of R&B do something to stand out from other eras?
Yeah, they introduced New Jack Swing.
Ah, okay.
Thank you, Teddy Riley.
Thank you, Teddy Riley. Um, if I may, I'm just gonna dip in a little bit until the other panelists um park their limousines and sip the champagne and stuff. I'm just gonna I remember that era being a crazy um because I was like out of school then. I was like the young teenager guy, not old enough to drink yet, but I'm in that weird phase of between 18 and 21. I remember there being sections, right? I remember the British invasion, the loose ends, the 5 star, the black box, everybody that
Yeah.
strike it up. The
Hmm.
the groove is in the heart, groove is in the and
Oh man, that makes me remember too. The Electric Slide. Did that
yes,
come out in 1990, eighty
I
nine, 90?
I think so. I think it was in that era.
Oh man, yeah, that used to be the vibe back in the day.
Yeah. Um there was also so the British invasion, and then there was the New Jack Swing, and then there was also the sophisticated soul, the sophisticated R&B, the um I don't care what the others say, just be good to me R&B.
Yeah,
And yeah, yeah.
was that Keith Washington's time with "Kissing You"?
A little after that,
Oh, okay,
Keith Washington, maybe 91, 92, 93, ninety
okay,
four, 95, 96, 97. Yeah. Um, Also there was the Hushtown management movement, the Melissa
yeah.
Morgans, the Freddie Jackson, the Miles J. I've been a fool for you. Also the Leverts of the world entering the stage.
When Tony Terry was a mid-tempo artist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keith Sweat. Some shout out to Corey Lee. Corey Lee's in the building. What's good, Corey Lee?
Shout out Corey Lee,
Yeah, yeah,
who
man.
was probably pimping at that time frame too. 86 to 90 was probably a good year for him, or at
Eight,
least a good era.
yeah, 86. So 86, Corey Lee was probably about 45. Soul Fingers in the building. What's good, Soul Finger?
Hey, what's happening? What's happening?
Soul Finger.
Soul Finger.
Hey, we talking about that good stuff, huh? Talking about that sweet spot of music
Yeah, yeah,
when brothers had that they were still in between the Jerry curl or the Jerry fade type curl with the parts and all and the tails. You
yeah,
had to have at least 3 lines, maybe even do your eyebrow.
yeah. Out here looking like unathletic Dominique Wilkins.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was So Soul Finger, I asked DSJ before we got started. I asked him, um, what do you remember the world being like in '86, and why did R&B music at that time directly correlate to what was going on in the world in 1986?
Let's see. 86. See, around that time, that's when brothers was well down my way. We were creasing our jeans and stuff, making our own starch and all like that. And cats were riding around, I mean, beating up the block, playing slow jams. So most thing you had to worry about back then, trying to get to the house parties or whatever else. The worst thing you had to worry about back then was maybe getting sliced.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to get work up on your game. You know how you gonna spit some game at a little something something.
Right.
So and then trying to get your little gear together, for the most part. But when it came down to the music, man, for me, it was about the music, because I was rolling with my brother. So a lot of my music, my introduction to music was really more due to my brother. So, around that time, I'm listening to Prince and the time and, Alexander O'Neal. You already know I was big into funk.
Yeah.
But then we had what they don't have today, the Quiet Storm. So, and the music, man. Ooh, you put on the Quiet Storm, that's when you're on the phone with somebody, you trying to talk all smooth with the Quiet Storm playing in the background,
Right.
you know. But it was And I think around that time, fashion, trying to get your,
Fashion.
your fashion. You had to get your gear right, because
Right.
you see a video of somebody in this, like DSJ was saying, those suits. Back then that's when the suits had all the shoulder pads. Everybody had those block shoulders
Right.
and the
Right.
double breast. The double breast was the thing around that time.
Out here looking like out here looking like, what's my man name from Flight Time? Mars Day. Out here
Morris
looking
Day,
like
yeah,
Mars Day. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Morris Day, he told you because he was cool.
Yeah, because he
Hey, honey, baby, can't you see? Ain't nobody cool like me.
right, right, right.
And then if you didn't know how to spell it, he even helped you.
Yeah, man.
Which makes me wonder: was people walking around with leather print suit jackets?
Between 86 and 90, I think
Yeah,
people are walking around with you probably
86 and 90, look, 86 and 90, cats were wearing, yeah, cats were wearing some colors around that time.
they would
Keep
wear
in
your
mind,
dog if you left them outside during that
that
era, bro.
is true. And then the other thing that sparked the whole thing when it came to cats wanting to wear suits and a little fashion thing was a little TV show called Miami Vice. Cats were running around trying to look like Crockett and Tubbs.
Salute, Mr. Chuck.
salute Chuck, super
Salute,
producer.
Chuck,
salute.
producer extraordinaire.
Yeah, man.
Just sold the beat for about $380,000. Go ahead, do your thing, Chuck.
And that's all he gave a discount.
He said it was one of his throwaway beats.
One of the throwaway beats. Okay. Corey Lee in the building. Okay.
Oh man, we got Serious Lee in here. Oh yeah, this is about to be real good today.
Yeah, man.
This is about to be a crash course in pimping. I'm taking notes.
Taking notes. Let me ask. I just want to ask Chuck a question, just real quick. So, Mr. Chuck, if you don't mind, just a real quick question. Did you, do you see a difference in music, soul, R&B, black music from 1980 through 85 to say a line in the sand from 86 to 90?
Um,
If I could give an example, just give an example. Um, I noticed that music in the early 80s sounded like, let's hear it from my baby. I understand. And then later on, you hear in the from 86 to 90, you hear songs like Back to Life, Back to Reality, However Do You Want It. So was that a shift in music, or was that type music always there and we just and society changed?
um, I think the music has always been there. Um,
Okay.
it's just people's taste change.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like everything was funky and groovy in the '70s until you got those politically charged records,
Right.
those racially charged records.
Right.
The Temptations sung about love until everybody else was speaking on the problems in the world.
Right.
So I think it's always been there. Um, Music comes in cycles.
Okay. 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 All right. Lee, when I was thinking about, like, when I was writing the questions to kind of moderate some, so what I noticed is that there was like a cutoff at 79. Like, for instance, when you hear the song Shame, shame. Like you hear that, and then 2 or 3 years later, you don't hear those songs like Shame don't hit anymore. Like in 82, 82, 83, 82, 83, it's songs like Get Me Nuts. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm asking you guys is like, I think I maybe I'm chasing ghosts. Maybe I'm seeing stuff that's not there. But I'm asking you guys, do you guys see like delineations in me, like a classic 90-degree turn in music from say 86 that wasn't there in say 85?
I would say
I don't.
along the R&B joints, you could definitely hear a change
Okay.
because it went from How I'm Wooing You to, for instance, um, I want to say it was Keith Sweat. We take Keith Sweat when he came out. His first album dropped when? That dropped in
87, 87.
80. No, it was, I want to say 85.
Keep Sweat?
Yeah, was it 85? 85, 86?
No,
The first
no,
one?
no. It was
Around that time?
87.
It's
Yeah.
87? Okay, well, take for instance, you can hear the difference.
Okay.
For instance, because we talked about it, the lyrics had changed.
Right.
Yeah, it is 87 because Levert dropped Pop, Pop, Pop in 86.
Yep.
You can tell the difference. But what I'm saying, using Sweat as an example, he's telling you, for instance, you may be young, but you ready
Yeah.
to learn. When we talked about that, so you can tell the difference in the songs.
Right.
You
Right.
know, they were it was for that time, that was a little more, I mean, around that time you said it was more risque. It was getting to the point, but still not like it is now. It just cut out the middleman, but it's still smooth how they came about the delivery.
Right. Right.
And they were singing more or less. It was more about now the love songs, more about not just love, but how I'm about to lay you down.
Bumping uglies. Yeah.
Yeah, how we're gonna do a bunch of sweating and hard breathing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey, salute to the chat. Salute to the chat, everybody watching. Thank y'all for joining us, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. We are taking a trip back down memory lane. The title of the show is Twisted, the R&B conversation, and we are speaking about a specific stitch in time, 1986 to 1990, and how the music impacted us and how we still have certain songs from that era committed to memory. I want to ask you guys this, and whoever goes first, that's fine. But what group from that era do you remember had the biggest impact on what you do today?
Ooh, today, that's I'm not gonna say today, but of that time, I would say because I was younger then. What New Edition?
Nah, I'm saying but the
It
question
was,
is, what group back then impacted you then, and then it impacts you today?
wow.
No,
Levert.
Yeah, you might as well run with them.
God.
Levert.
Oh
Wow,
yeah. Oh, Levert.
wow.
Look, man. Like I'm gonna tell you how. All right. So Levert, when I first heard him, I liked him, and I was listening to what they were saying. So much so. Look, man. My firstborn, I got to credit to Levert.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. My firstborn got to credit to Levert. And then certain little things, Levert always, for I impact me, they put me in a good little headspace. So I'm going through a little something, something, or I'm upset. I could just grab me a Levert track. I could listen to that, and I'm good.
Right.
Levert is one of my favorite groups. So they had a lot of a lot to do. So when I put in, for instance, I put in Casanova. Casanova, that takes me back. That's the track I put in because it's good times.
Okay.
And then the other one, the last album, well, now that's after 90 though. But just dealing with them, the last album for real though, not like that wasn't the last one, second to last album for real though. The Good Old Days. That was a track. When I hear that, that takes me back to good times because we used to go. Me and my other half, man, they used to go to hang out with some friends. And New Year's Eve, go to New Year's Eve party with a lot of older folk, and they would play that, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you, you want about to see a bunch of older folk getting it in, throw that track in and get out the way.
Yeah. Let me ask this. Let me just ask this to I was talking to Soul Finger about this earlier. And just real quick, because I want to give you guys some time to think about the previous question. I want to ask you guys about this though. And then hopefully that'll give us some time to get in our bag. How much did WBLS and Kiss FM affect your music listening from around 86 to 90?
Oh, it had everything to do with me. Everything. Everything. That's, I mean, and you can throw in another one just prior to that was 92 KTU.
Yeah,
You know,
WKTU. Yeah,
and oh, because of course those were the only stations I can remember that played modern R&B music that I was familiar with. You know, and it was crazy, like urban music that we could relate to in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until like maybe till 90 that like the hot 97s popped up and stuff like that. But
yeah,
from 86 to that, like what Soul Finger said, that Quiet Storm. I mean, you could hear any and everybody who your parents played them. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's when your parents tuned in. I can remember my grandmother every holiday tied into BLS, and we'll hear what's the man name? You always say his name, please. I can't think of it right now. Ken Spiderweb.
Ken Spiderweb,
You know.
the number one chief rocker,
You know.
Frankie Crocker, Dr.
Yep.
Lee,
Exactly.
Miss Viv in the mornings. Yeah,
But it
or
was like,
Dr.
but it was
Dr. Lee
it,
and Dr. Viv in the mornings. Yeah,
yeah, but the way that programming was set up, it was just like, first of all, their approach to music was crazy. It was so smooth, calculated, you know, and they gave love to almost everybody. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So I mean, that right there, some cats right there, BLS and Kiss FM, phenomenal. And then you just go back and forth as far as the Quiet Storms, who had the better one. You know what I'm saying? If you was fortunate enough to have two radios, you'll hit record on both of them. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And you can listen to both.
right. I
But yeah,
remember
they were
I
dope.
remember Kiss playing all the club joints. Right, Kiss used to, and I'm talking about during daytime hours. Not I'm not talking about when it got dark and all that. But during the daytime hours, I remember Kiss playing all the club bangers, and I remember WBLS playing all the street joints, like all the.
Mm.
For instance, when WBLS was so hard that when when they wanted to play a slow jam, they would play something like "Tender Love" by the Force MDs,
Hmm.
right? They wouldn't play necessarily. They wouldn't play "Borderline" by Madonna, but Kiss would, right? And Kiss would play. Yeah, I remember the artist Lisa and Cult Jam.
Yep.
Yeah, of
Full
course,
force
from head to
products.
toe.
Yeah, Kiss would play. Kiss would play Lisa and Cult Jam to death, where
Oh, I
WBLS
another.
was constantly trying to sneak in some hardcore. They would constantly trying to sneak in, say a Public Enemy joint, or give you an example. So, figure this. Give me an example of how WBLS was when they wanted to play a slow jam. They would play something like "I Need Love" by LL Cool J. like they didn't want to give like the love to, you know. But getting back to the
I got
question.
one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, no, because you forgot because you said Lisa, you got thrown that whole what's his name, Stevie B, that expose,
Yeah,
that crowd, like you just said, that club crowd, because it was
yeah,
like borderline dance, but that's because you got to think that crowd was primarily that extinguished disco crowd
yeah. They called
from
it
the
freestyle,
from
like
the
Apollonia,
yeah
Vanity, Lisa, all of
mm,
that. It was like that freestyle street Madonna kind of. And later
yeah
on, that
that extinct
freestyle would become CC Peniston and Robin S.
Robin.
and
Mm-hmm.
and
hmm
the She's Homeless lady, she Crystal Waters.
Crystal Waters.
Yeah,
yeah
yeah. It would become that crowd. Um,
that hip house.
yeah, that yeah. Um, did 86 through 90 get like an injection of new creativity? And if so, where did it come from?
Came from the
Hip
streets.
hop.
DSJ, you said it came from the streets?
Came from the streets. The elements of and just to be clear, the genre of hip hop or rap music, um, you could see the shift to where they're trying to make the hybrid sounds. Um, if you notice the bass, the rhythms, the
Mm-hmm.
drum patterns started to change up a little
The
bit,
808s.
Okay, okay,
and
okay.
so there was a certain level of infusion of hip hop in just those areas immediately. The drum pattern changes, the addition of samples,
Mhm.
um, just playing pop culture sounds to the immediate songs that were on the radio. So we went from James Ingram's 100 Ways to, and I think really overall, what I think about in terms of the change in music, we stopped catering to emotions and more towards time frames. What I mean by that is we would make records for specific times of the evening, right? So you would have the just got paid,
Oh,
the you don't have to take our clothes off type of songs,
you don't
which
Yeah.
were
have
party
to.
records. But this
Yeah.
is like prime, between these hours. This is what we're catering to.
Okay.
And I think that's what basically happened during that time frame. We stopped looking at the emotions and started looking at our watches and okay, from this time to this time, it's party time. From this time to this time, it's midnight love time.
Okay. Okay. Lee, you want to add something to it?
No, no, he good right now.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
mean, he pretty much he wrapped it up. Well, to some degree, wrapped it up to a nutshell. So and I lost my thought.
I always felt like, and Chuck and Soulfinger man, please jump in and help me out with this, especially because I'm searching for a thing. Like I'm on a journey trying to figure it out, and I may need some assistance with it. I always felt like the R&B changed because lead singers got tired of being broke and splitting money.
Yeah.
So a lot
Yeah.
of them
Uh-huh.
so a lot of them went solo and
Mm-hmm.
got rid of lead singers and instrumentalists like the saxophone guy. Remember the saxophone guy would play the hook?
Yeah, you
The
got
sax
rid of bands. You had a lot of
Yeah.
bands just disappeared.
Yeah, you got rid of all those guys, and now it's like, instead of where you had a confunction,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, that would have a 7-minute song, two vocalists, but 17 other people in the band that could sing, but they also play music. and you get rid of them guys because you can sample in studio. And now Michael Cooper is looking like, well, if I'm sampling, why am I paying these other 17 guys? And so now you see the Michael Coopers go solo, the James Taylors,
Jeffrey Osborne.
right. You see these guys go solo. Even Bobby Brown, like, why am I splitting the money
Hmm.
when I can just get out here and do it on my own? And so I always felt like, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm right. I need y'all guys' help to help me figure it out. But I felt like the death of the bridge and background vocals in songs hurt R&B. Even now, when you see new R&B artists, right, they'll sing everything, and then they'll have two background singers at one mic stand just singing there, just doo-wopping.
Hmm.
Whereas in early R&B, like from, because I always felt like R&B was born in like 78, maybe 80. I don't think R&B is that old, right? I think R&B
I give
is
you that. About 77, 78.
I don't think R&B didn't exist in the 60s, in the early 70s.
I actually said 77. I say 70, 78, 79. I wouldn't say
Right.
77, 78, 79.
I don't I think there was I'll tell you where I think it started. It started at that era of Minnie Riperton,
Hmm.
when the Minnie Ripertons of the world didn't have to be in a girl group. Remember when lead singers can come out, or two people can come out and be a group,
Yeah.
right? Like Brothers Johnson,
Brother
Yarborough
Johnson. Yep.
People,
Hmm.
Peaches and Herb.
Jason Hurd,
Yeah,
Renee and Angela.
when you didn't need the Jackson Five, you don't need five people no more. You know what I'm saying? And Chuck, am I wrong with that? Am I assessing wrong?
Um, no, I don't think you're assessing wrong, but from the early to mid '80s into the '90s, technology changed.
Right,
Before voices and instruments recorded on reel to reel.
right.
So you needed background singers because you couldn't sing your ad libs and the hook and then be able and the chorus while vamping
Oh,
over it. So
right.
now you have different companies that are coming along like Elise and then the MPC
Right.
now, and I think the first iteration of I forgot the name of the program, but it allowed you to record vocals on a computer.
Oh, you talking about the people that the Dolby people from Jive, where you could multi-track,
Right.
and Thomas Dolby and it's somebody else. Both of them wound up being filthy rich. One of them wound up owning Jive, and I think eventually buying RCA maybe, and the
Yeah, they
other one
did.
wound up being Dolby. And you remember at the Sophie? You remember back at the beginning of movies, say back in the '90s, where it would be that sound,
Yeah,
and it'd be like Dolby sound.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dolby.
Dolby Digital.
yeah, Dolby did. Yeah, Thomas Dolby started that, and so that might be. So we could just blame Marvin Gaye then. Is basically what we're getting at.
Yeah, because
I mean, yeah.
because
When you put it like that, you might as well, because Marvin Gaye was he set precedents, man.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
hold on. Wait a minute. We're just gonna blame Marvin Gaye. We're not gonna put any blame on Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Gladys Knight. None of them get any blame.
No,
Any?
no,
well,
they albums wasn't fire. Marvin Gaye album was fire, bro.
um
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
I was gonna say some of his biggest hits in the '80s was the Roland TR 808.
Right,
Those are stock sounds. To
right,
to this day, you could go and program the same swing and drum pattern as "Let's Get It On"
right.
and
Sexual healing.
sexual healing.
Right.
So those technologies were new. Just like when Jimi Hendrix hit the scene, uh, the wah pedal had just been invented.
Yep.
The rat had just been invented. Well, he didn't use the rat. He used uh, tone bender.
Okay.
Like all of that stuff had just been created. So when
Okay.
Jimmy comes along with his unique playing style and utilization of these pedals, it's like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. So
Yeah.
as an artist, when you gotta wait for the drummer to come, you gotta wait for the horn section to finish drinking
Yeah.
and smoking weed.
Yeah.
Then you gotta wait for your background singers to get warmed up.
Yeah.
Then everyone in the studio tries. Uh, for artists, it was frustrating. And when they look at their budget, all that stuff is going out in the budget.
Yeah.
Everyone gets paid. So now
Mm-hmm.
I can walk in the studio by myself, lay my vocals in harmonies, um, and I don't have to pay uh, studio musicians an hourly rate when I can just have a guy go in there and program my sound.
Right. Right.
So I feel like that was the shift because now you can get it quick, fast, and in a hurry versus you don't get the funky drummer without those guys being in the studio together and catching that feeling. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
The vibe.
So when you take that, say that again.
The vibe. Like just being jamming, just
Yes,
jamming
sir.
and vibing.
You
Just
have a jam session. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Let me. Do you guys? Anybody in here ever saw the "Funkin' for Jamaica" video?
Oh man, it's been a long time. Yeah.
All right. So
Yes,
there's
I
a
have.
and
What,
so when
Jamaica
you
Funk?
yeah when Jamaica
Hmm.
Funk when you watch that, look at how many people are in that studio. There's a
It's at least
singer.
15, 16.
Right. 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 So there are so many people. Bully, what's good, bro?
What up? What up?
Yeah, ain't not, ain't not. But there were so many people in that studio that when you consider everybody there is getting paid, and that's the people in front of the camera.
We ain't talking about behind.
You ain't
Jesus.
even talking about behind
Engineers.
the camera. So now when the check comes, you're talking about splitting that check 37 ways, right? Right? You talking about what,
Mm.
Bully? Everything all right?
I'm just showing my people, you on live, dude. I'm out here having fun. And whatnot. I ain't know you was coming on like that. I just seen the link and whatnot. What's up, Soulful? What up, CL? What up, DSJ?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So Bullet.
We just
What
having
up, Bully?
Yeah,
yeah, man. We
man.
just having the R&B conversation. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. Wow, what's up, baby? Poppin'. How y'all doing that thing? Jamaica Funk was funky, man. Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. Hey, we can't even hear you, bro. Your mic real low.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So in those years, do y'all think it's just a technology thing? Is there any feel like for instance, do y'all know how it is? Like you know how when something happens to you and it changes you as a person and you take that feeling with you throughout the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you meet a girl for the first time, or you step into maybe maturity or adulthood, and then there's like a coming of age song, like the SOS song, like the SOS band. Like y'all, for instance, the SOS band had a coming of age album, right? And when you listen to that album, you're like, man, they in the same place I am. right? You about 17. You probably about to leave the nest. Maybe you joined the military. Maybe you going off to college. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you doing both. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you just moving out or something like that. And then you listen to somebody's album and they're singing about the same things that you're going through at the same age. Anybody get that feeling of that, like during that era, like with maybe a Troop or New Edition or Tony or Ready for the World
I,
or
I can say that they sparked my maturation. Um, Now that you mention these groups, these where I started coming into my own and started feeling myself. You know what I'm saying? And I started looking at myself in a whole different aspect. Like I can actually look in my mirror and see that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was younger. I was a much more handsome man, and I could say, well, all right, now I can see what that a lot of ladies can't deny me. You know what I'm saying? Me. It made me feel myself. It put a battery in my back when I had the confidence to approach just almost any female that I ran into that I was interested in and spark a conversation and hopefully you walk away with our number. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was yeah. Around that time, I can honestly say that from like '86 to even all the way up to like '92.
okay.
Where the music started slowly evolving more and more. I
Mm-hmm.
can honestly say that. Yes. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
so what you think about that, DSJ?
Well, I think again, music is always a soundtrack to everybody's lives. I think there's always going to be a time and place that you remember that's dear to your heart, and there's always going to be something that was playing in the background that you'll always remember with that memory.
Okay.
So, um, again, even as I remember about 86, 87 during that time frame, again, I'm a shorty. I'm 6, 7 years old, riding the school bus to go to PS 139. I remember at that point, I'm hearing,
Brooklyn.
yeah, I'm hearing I'm hearing some of the songs. Of course, in the early mornings, you can always hear like the mid, the mid tempo pop joints. You'll hear the Don't Be Cruels. Um, Bobby Brown, I think, was the king of the airwaves at that point. Um,
And Prince.
Keith
Prince
Sweat,
too.
yeah, like
Prince
Yeah.
you,
too.
like
Prince had a song called Kiss. Anybody remember that?
Kiss. Yeah, man.
yeah.
Oh,
That
come on.
song was everywhere.
Matter of fact, if it's funny because every time I hear Soul Fingers intro on Blowing Tears, the first thing I think about is that lick, that guitar lick sounds exactly like the opening to Prince's Kiss.
Yeah. Salute to Chuck Allen, man, super producer for that.
Super duper producer. But
Thank
that's
you,
Yes,
man.
exactly
sir.
what I think about. I hear that, and the first thing I think about is, man, Prince would love this joint.
Yeah.
Um, but again, yeah, I remember those times where again everything had a soundtrack to it. The first time I talked to this pretty girl named Renee on that school bus,
Yeah.
you know, Roni was playing.
Yeah.
I liked from Guy, and I think that's why for me, like Guy was always like the pinnacle of that time frame because
Mm.
again, New Jack Swing immediately comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Riley's
Really?
genius just really
Yeah.
catapult
Teddy
in
Riley.
that.
I'm
But see,
sorry. I'm sorry.
DS.
Finish your thought.
I was just
Finish
saying,
your thought,
DSJ just
DSA.
took
My
me
fault.
back real quick. He took me back. He's especially talking about the Teddy Riley, that New Jack Swing era, Teddy Riley.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you know, it, and it is music. Music is, you can say, is well, different songs hit people different ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I could say around '86. I'm gonna tell you that Morris Day, he went solo in '86,
Yep.
and I'm gonna tell you the cut on that album, Morris Day self-titled album.
Yeah.
Don't wait for me.
Right.
That was my cut. Still to this day, I play that Joker like it's no tomorrow. I had that still in rotation.
Wow. Wow. There were a lot of groups during that time too that
Yes.
get no credit. Like anybody remembers this group, Mother's Finest?
Yep.
Mm.
Chuck, you remember them?
No, sir.
So
You gotta give me something.
Mother's Finest had a song, and I think Jamie Foxx and Mary J. Blige redid it. Oh goodness gracious. Let me see if I can find it. But when I
Love
tell
changes.
Love Changes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love changes. Yeah, that song was big. That thing that blew up. It was like a little bonfire right there for a
yeah.
minute.
I swear Kiss FM must have had 100 copies of that thing because they played that song all the time. And then it was redone by Melissa Morgan and Kashif.
But see, that's why everybody remember it when you
Yeah.
say because of Kashif. We say them because I didn't remember Mother's Finest, but when you said the song, I remember when they did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that goes to something me and DSJ talked about. Original artists could do the song, but you don't remember who the original artist is because of who
Right.
did it the second time.
Right. Right.
Because the way they brought it out, they brought more into the song or something. And it
Can y'all
just
give an example of that?
um
Because I got an example. An example is this group called The Deal did a song in 1981 called Sweet November. And to be honest with you, it was a ham sandwich. But then when I heard Troop do it 10 years later,
True, yeah, it was fire.
it was a banger. Yeah. So that's my example. Do you have any other examples though, DSJ Soulfinger?
I did have one. Matter of fact, I do have one. Major Harris.
Oh, great artist.
Love Won't Let Me Wait.
Oh,
Thank you for your contribution, but did Luther Vandross
Luther killed
turn that
that.
into his own song?
He killed that. And thank you, DSJ, for taking the song I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
Can I throw one more into in the conversation? So while we talking about a Luther remake, I got two. Right. If you heard Dionne Warwick's "A House Is Not a Home,"
oh yeah, Luther killed that man.
You like,
oh yeah.
Okay, this is a ham sandwich. Like it's
Yeah,
good, it's sustenance, but then when you hear Luther,
yeah, that's filet mignon, man, with the lobster tails.
right? And the other one is Superstar Until You Come Back to Me.
Yeah.
When you hear Aretha Franklin do it, and when you hear Mickey Howard do it, you're like, okay, yeah, that's a when you hear because you know it's a woman's lyrics, right?
Yeah.
Because you know it's a woman, it's written for a woman, right? I'm gonna knock on your door. I'm gonna rap on your window pane. I'm gonna rap on your door, knock on your window pane. You know that's written for women, right? But then when you hear Luther, you're like, did he?
Yes.
Luther needs to be and on death row for song abuse for what he did to that song.
Man, look, it's and Luther was taking. He could just he could cover another song and make it his own. You forget who originally sang the song because it was Luther.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I got another one. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Soulfinger. I got
No,
another one.
go ahead, bro. Hey.
It was another group that turned around and took a song and made it their own. Remember the Jacksons were doing In Vogue stole the Jackson song When I Had You. And they turned around and they pretty much made it their own song.
Yeah.
You know,
you talking about Hold On, the intro into Hold On.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's another slept on group, an R&B group that we don't even talk about is in vogue. You know what I'm saying? As far as those females, they were all very talented women, and I'm talking about taking harmony and using it as an instrument. That was crazy. That
Right.
was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's a conversation. Maybe that's a conversation we should have. Soulfinger. Maybe that's a conversation we should have for another show.
I
Like all
do
these
believe
girl,
so.
like all these girl groups.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
we
Maybe we
should.
should. Yeah.
Those you know about, and then
Mhm.
those that you kind of stumbled across. I think we should, because we always talk about the SWVs and the Escape. You know, you got the
Hmm.
En Vogues, and then you got the
The
Jones
Jones Girls
yeah
and Sister Sledge, the
Sister
Pointer
Sled, Pointer
Sisters,
Sisters,
Yeah.
the
yeah,
Emotions.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
man.
Staple Singers,
Staple Singer, Sweet Obsession,
Brownstone.
Brown. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness. Oh my god.
So
Oh my
we need to
God.
have, yeah, we need to, we can table that, and that can be a part. We need to do that for the next one.
Yeah,
Definitely do that for the
yeah,
next
we
one.
have to
Yeah,
do
because
that.
Sarah smiled, but after seven needs a conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Hall and Oates might want to fight them.
yeah, that's one right there.
yeah, yeah. No doubt
But then
about it.
again,
No.
also too, but also too, you gotta think like speaking of which, how you brought us Harris Smiles, like how Hall and Oates came infiltrated the R&B music scene, and you would swear up and down that these cats were some Euros coming in and trying to steal the sound, but they had their own funky,
But but
soulful
the thing,
sound.
oh yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, C. Lee. I was
You
just
good?
about to
No,
say something.
you good? No, no,
Yeah,
no, you good, baby.
hey, but Hall though, but Hall and Oates. See, this is the thing about it. Though. Hall and Oates, they appeal to the hood on some stuff. When they dropped that, Sarah Smile was a whole thing, because
That was
you
early
listen,
Hall and Notes. That was early
yeah,
Hall and Notes. Yeah.
that was early, and you sitting there like, what the, when you see them, it's just like when we were talking about was it Bobby Caldwell?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that's earlier than what we're talking about, and that's a whole another one right there. We're talking about these white singers that could blow. That when you figure out, when you realize they were white, you're like, wait a minute, bro, that no white man's supposed to be singing like that. He's
Yeah.
singing from his soul. He's
Phil Collins,
singing from his soul.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Phil
yeah.
Collins.
They're
And to
yeah.
tell you, I just
I got
I
other
told Freezie about my man here. Me and DSJ was talking about him. Teddy Swims.
Yeah, man. Hey, just real quick. Hey,
ones.
thank y'all everybody for rocking with us. If this is your first time on Vibes and Stuff, we're talking about a certain era of music, 1986 to 1990 R&B. And so if this is your first time being here, subscribe to the channel, click that like button, leave us some
Hmm.
comments, and make sure that you come back and rock with us as we continue to do more shows like this. Thank you to DSJ and Soulfinger 12 for being the inspiration behind this. I when they first talked to me about it, I had no idea if we had enough content to kind of fill the space. But then when I talked to him and when I listened to him, I was like, man, you know what? We may have too much content. This may have to be a series. When you listen to the in-depth knowledge and as we jog our memories, because to be honest with you, I'm trying not to use Google to remember some of this stuff. I'm trying to use it from memory. But man, as we talk about stuff like Mother's Finest, 1986, as we talk about Melissa Morgan, Do Me
Mr.
Baby,
Morgan, do me,
redoing
baby.
Prince.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and man, you said a mouthful on Melissa Morgan, Freeze. And then think about the duet. You thinking about the duets,
Right.
the Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle.
Yeah.
When
Wow.
they
Yeah.
got that. We're not just talking about look at the ballads. Look
Right.
at the up tempos they
Yes.
did.
Right.
as well. I mean, they were. I mean, Sherelle. I mean, when she came out with that, with her stuff, she was already. Was it? I didn't mean to turn you on.
Yeah. The
She
worst
came
video.
out.
That's the worst music video
Was
I
it?
ever seen in my life.
Man, look, it's like the was it the Nollywood videos? But
Yo, when King Kong Big Fist reached through that tiny window,
yeah,
I
man.
was like, this is so cheesy. King Kong Big Old Fist reached through that teeny window, and nothing got broken. Right? I was like, okay, all right.
Well, how about when King Kong started breakdancing?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
But then you had Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle, and they come together. So during that time, man, you had, which we don't have a lot of today. I mean, well, you do, but you have to find it. But it was R&B was so, I would say it was plentiful because, like you said, you had a whole segment on radio. Y'all, we even even at the crib, we had 2 radio stations, and we had 2 quiet storms going on at one time.
Okay.
So you flipping back, you got one radio on, trying to catch that man. I hope they play that Shirley Murdoch tonight, so I can record that. Or
how good was Shirley Murdoch?
was that?
How good of an artist is Shirley Murdoch?
I think
underrated.
Yeah, thank you, C. Lee. I'm gonna tell you what, because she had the 2 albums. Well, she had 3 actually. I think the woman, that her voice was, I mean, ridiculous. She had that. I mean,
Powerful.
if she could sing a bald head man to get an afro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ron is in the building.
Ron is in the building.
You ain't gonna keep talking about R&B music, and I know that it's happening, and I ain't gonna get up here.
Yeah, man.
Salute, Ron. What's going on?
What's happening, fellas? DSJ, Chuck, Corey, Soul Finger, and Uncle Freezie.
I would say this: when she started singing gospel, that kind of changed a lot of things. But you kept going back to her music, though, regardless.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still break glass and put her up against a lot of these singers today, and she murdering them.
Okay. I don't know if I'm that high on her.
And I'm sorry, I was just jumping in. Who y'all talking about?
Shirley Murdoch.
Oh, is she the one who sings "As We Lay"?
Yes.
As We Lay. Mm-hmm.
And go on without you. Husband. She also sung with Zach for like 6 years.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm not for. I think I have a preference though. Like I don't know if I rank her in the top. I think is she top 50 for her era?
I say top 25.
That's questionable. One thing for sure, she has the meanest growl for a female artist.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because even like prime example, and it's the most recent one. It's beyond the time that we're talking about, but the remake of "Thin Line Between Love and Hate" by H-Town.
Okay.
On her part, where she does the meanest woman in the world apart.
Yeah.
Like that's that was I don't hear. I've never heard a woman with a growl that mean. On those parts.
But she's such a powerful. She has a powerful voice. She does have a powerful voice.
Okay, so I'm in the minority then because I'm not taking her over Vesta. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, see, right. Vesta. I mean, Vesta's bad.
I'm not taking her under not over Mickey Howard. Love under new management.
Yeah, I wouldn't take her over them.
I wouldn't take her over, but I'm not. I can't knock her down because she's a bad. She can
bad
sing. Woman.
She is. We had a conversation. Remember the topic was, can a great artist put out a mediocre album, and can a mediocre artist put out a great album?
Mm-hmm.
I think Shirley Murdoch is in that group of she is so talented
But
that
she put out a mediocre album.
right, like for instance, I think I may take Ann Nesby over her. And I know a lot of people don't know who Ann Nesby is, but
Yeah,
I
'cause,
think I may
what?
take. I'm sorry.
No, I was like, yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah,
Go ahead though.
Ann Nesby is the lady from The Sounds of Blackness.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
mm,
Okay.
I like some sounds of blackness too.
Yeah, and because she had a solo on the Sounds of Blackness first album called The Pressure Part 2, where she
Mm-hmm.
is just singing about depression and praying to God, and she just singing her heart out. You can tell she was crying during the song, right?
mm,
And bro, when you hear that song, The Pressure Part 2, about how she dealing with like being depressed and perceived walls caving in on her and her praying out to God for help, and you can hear her like struggling getting through the. If you've never heard that song, that's homework to you. If you've never heard that song before, that's homework.
Actually, Freezy, if you ain't listened to that album,
If you ain't listened to the album,
listen to the
that's
album.
homework. Yeah.
hmm,
But
hmm.
what's my girl's name? Unfortunately, she ended up taking her life. She sings.
Phyllis
She started
Hyman,
saying.
Phyllis Hyman,
Yes,
golly,
exactly. Exactly.
all
woo.
from the, yeah, that's some.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
that no disrespect to Shirley Murdoch, but there were a lot of
Oh no, it was a
bad
lot. It was some
singers.
bad singers out of Phyllis Hyman was a
But
bad. Oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
shout out to Philly.
and Lee, you know who we forget when we mention all these singers, and the best one of them all is probably the most underrated, understated, undervalued
Mhm.
is a lady named Martha Wash.
Oh man, yeah,
Oh,
we were just talking about her too,
absolutely.
Freeze. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
From the Weather Girls.
And
yeah.
Two
the
Tons of
Weather
Fun.
Girls.
Tons of
Two
fun.
tons
Yep.
of
Yeah,
fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did
Wasn't
all the
she the?
singing.
All
Go
No,
ahead, Ron.
yeah. I,
there's
you
another
know,
one.
you was just about to say what I was just about to
yeah,
Go
say.
ahead, Ron. Go ahead. I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna snatch your
Yeah,
thunder. Go ahead.
yeah. She's the one singing all the backgrounds, not being shown in the videos, good vibrations and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then everybody didn't dance now.
Yeah. Everybody dance now. Yeah, that's her. That's her, and
Mhm.
that's her on "Strike It Up" by Black Box.
hmm
Right.
That's her.
Yep.
Everybody. That's her,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
all those joints. She was
Which is
that.
crazy, man. That story is criminal.
Yeah, but she
Not
got
only
paid
is it
later
criminal
on
that they
though.
didn't put her in the forefront, but she didn't get paid. Like, you gonna hide me? You better pay me. Like, she ain't
Oh,
she ain't even getting
Sharon. She got paid now,
no,
but she got
initially, but the
yeah.
residuals and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she could.
she sued all those groups, and she wound up. I think she wound up walking away with like $270 something million.
That's sad.
Yeah,
Hey,
but that
Martha
was
Wash, if you're
later.
Damn.
listening, I
Right,
will be.
Later.
right.
That's
I
after the
need a
fact.
sugar mama.
Right.
Yeah.
That was after the fact. But I understand what you. But during that time, she was like just a broke studio singer, just trying to get by. And when you hear her story, like when you watch her unsung on TV One,
Oh
oh
man.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Now she's rich now. I mean, but but the point that I'm getting at, the thing with Shirley Murdoch is, I understand she's great, but we didn't even mention the singers of that era that still had stuff out, like
hmm
Shaka Khan, Whitney
hmm
Houston, Denise Williams,
Mm.
and so when you think about all those females, man, is Shirley Murdoch really top five?
Well, you know what it is. I would say that she can sing, but when it comes down to it, and this is what DSJ kind of and I talked about last night, and it goes on what you brought up. You got an artist that's one hell of an artist that can
Right,
blow, but when it
right.
comes down to production, kills them.
Can't make a hit.
You
Can't
can't
make a
make
hit.
it.
You
Can't
can't
make a
make a hit
hit.
like that. I don't
There's a
care.
lot
I
of there's a
mean,
lot of artists like that.
yeah.
Right.
So if you got bad production over talent, look, you need that producer to be able to capture the right song. That's like Hogman the Intruder is producing DSJ, and he got all these whack tracks instead of Chuck producing them, who can bring out the true DSJ. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Right.
And a lot of that, because if you really look at it, those songs that we talk about with Shirley Murdoch are the ones we always talk about. We don't talk about anything else. You don't talk about the whole album.
Right.
You talk about these songs. And then
Right. Sophie, just real quick, just to add that to that point that you're making, because that's an excellent point. That's well thought out. I don't know if you wrote that down before the show or what, but that's an excellent point. But
well, you know, the sun is shine on the dog's backside every now and then.
Yeah, but I got one thing I want to add to that, right? In the case of Shirley Murdoch, her album sounded like a Zapp album with a woman singing. And so
I never thought of it like that.
when I'm listening to Shirley Murdoch album, I'm like, all he did was change the pronouns. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And there were some smoothed out parts in on her albums, but I honestly felt like as an artist, she probably should have stepped away from them
and them.
Yeah, and maybe, for instance, it's the same thing with Melissa Morgan albums, right? When you listen to a Melissa Morgan album, it's just like listening to Freddie Jackson, except the pronouns are changed, right?
That's
and so when you listen to Melissa Morgan, any song she did away from Hush Management, like "Do Me Baby," that was a hit before. So her redoing it, that was a smash, right? And her redoing Mother's Finest, Love Changes, that was a hit before. You know what I'm saying? And so the only songs of hers that you remember, right, are the song that Jay-Z sampled, that Mary J. I'm taking out this time.
Can't Knock the Hustle, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So those songs, but then when you listen to the album, everything sounds like "You Are My Lady." Every Melissa Morgan song is a "You Are My Lady" type song, and you're like, I understand the in-house producer thing, but it's the same reason why Snoop's album is a smash, but the Dog Pound's album is aight. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only so much that you could probably, for your listening ear, for you to, back then when you used to buy the tape, back then you remember you used to be standing in, you and Sam Goody standing in line. Hey, Hector's in the building. Heck, what's good, bro?
Salute, Heck.
What up, Heck?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, man. So and I'm not bashing Shirley Murdoch, because I actually love Shirley Murdoch for what she is.
Yeah, no, we picking up what you're putting down especially when you explain it that way for others that may think you are.
Right.
But you got to look at it like you said, because I never really thought about it. She had the same Zapp sound. I just know she didn't have, the whole album wasn't one of those you can put in and go from beginning to end.
No,
right.
It ain't that. It's not. And when people think Zapp, not the electro funk Zapp, not the auto-tune Zapp, but in their album where they have all the love songs and all that stuff, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Computer Love.
Yeah, because it had that I want to be. Yeah, you're not talking because I think about it, it does have that I want to be your man feel.
Right.
Oh, and another thing, just to add on to what Freezie said about adding on to what you said, I'm adding on to that. Another problem that happens with some of these artists, especially artists with so much talent that don't have the right people that can cultivate the vision, right?
Yes.
That understand exactly what this person needs to make a hit. Eventually they kind of go through the motions, and if they're lucky enough, they finally find a producer that can give them the sound they've been searching for. They get the sound, and by that time they put out the song, the music has changed. The music is not the same anymore. So your hit would have been a hit 10 years ago. It ain't a hit now.
Right.
That happens all the time.
And it's just like one person, Freezie and I was just talking about Faith. I know that's not in the same era, but Faith Evans. She's never been, after that first album, it hasn't been that same kind of
that bad boy production, the Motown. Yeah.
you had to hit here, cut there. But I'm talking about from beginning to end. You just like you can put it in, just let it go.
Right.
And part of that too is with because she did so much for Bad Boy production and Diddy, a lot of her hits she gave away. Wrote hits for other people. There's so many songs that she's done that I'm like, I didn't even know she did it.
Right.
But
a lot of Mary stuff.
Definitely a lot of Mary stuff. Yes.
And Ron, that brought up another conversation I was having with Freezie and DSJ about how artists can write for other artists.
Right.
That song they write will blow up, but then when they put out something, it's not blowing up.
Right.
When you look at that. So it's like I said, that's something about Freeze may want to table on that one too. That. That's another discussion.
That's and so the reason why I brought this up is because I had this conversation about 20 years ago about the Babyface sound. Right. Like if you could legit take Babyface vocals off of a Babyface song and insert John B, Tony Rich, or Tony Braxton, and it sounds exactly the same.
We'll look at As Yet.
As Yet, yeah. My bad, Chuck.
Well, a lot of these producers, especially Babyface, makes a reference track for the artist to go practice and sing to sound like the record. R. Kelly too. Like if you, what was the old boy name? Marcus Houston.
Yeah, Marcus Houston. Yeah,
sounds like R. Kelly.
Yes,
you can hear
100%.
R. Kelly vocal in the background. Like so, when these artists, anybody seen the Tony Braxton story? Babyface wrote all her stuff. They didn't allow her to get into her creative bag. It was Babyface way or the highway, and it wasn't until later in her career that she was like, "Nah, we're gonna write these songs together." So if you are not a writer, then you're at the mercy of whoever's going to give you a hit.
Okay.
And then sometimes when you're dealing with a classically trained singer, there could be a clash.
Yeah.
So I think a part why music change, we're going to get people that's going to do what we say, sing it like this, right?
Right. Yeah.
So when you're a true artist in that sense, sometimes you can clash with the people that are writing the songs. I don't really like how this sounds. I don't really like these drums or this beat.
Right.
Meanwhile, everybody else in the studio is like, "Yo, this is a smash.
This is a banger.
Like, what are we doing?"
Right.
So
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens. It happens. My bad.
I was just gonna say the one thing that I will say, and I know that me and Freezie probably go on different opinions here, because he has different taste in music, likes things a little bit more funky, soulful, right? Whereas I love the Babyface sound. Like that sound is like my life. It's my blood. If I didn't have the Babyface sound, I don't even know if I would know what R&B is.
I'm more Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis than Babyface.
Right. And I understand that. And I like, to me, that shaped my whole era. Both of those, Babyface and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Without that, I don't know who I am. So, but what I was gonna say is the reason why I really appreciate Babyface and that sound is because any song that Babyface wrote and produced for someone else, he could record that song himself and it'll be just as good. As long as he's got the right type of backing vocals, like even End of the Road, you give him the right type of guys to harmonize in the background, he can bang that song out the same way, just like stuff he wrote for Bobby Brown or Tevin Campbell. Maybe not Tevin, because Tevin hits those octaves, but you get my point.
Right.
And so I really appreciate that, because some songwriters, even though they may have vocals they can't, if they tried to put that song out, it ain't gonna hit the way they do it for another artist.
Like Babyface, yeah.
No, not like Babyface.
Like the Dream.
You mean like no? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm saying
exactly like that. If you even notice his drum patterns, when it comes down to his mid-tempo stuff, all of it has the same doop 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 doop. That it got that same rhythm, right? Prime example, "Down My Heart for the Boys."
Yeah.
Sounds just like "Don't Be Cruel."
Yeah.
Don't be yeah.
Which sounds a lot like
every little step.
Every Little Step.
Tender Lover. Remember Tender Lover?
Yeah.
That was on his first album.
Yeah,
first album. Yeah.
Yep. All those drum
After
patterns.
7.
Yeah. And I disagree there, Ron, because I think Babyface wrote this song. And if y'all give me 15 seconds, man, Babyface wrote this song called My for his brothers, a group called After 7.
Mm-hmm.
And so the darker brother took the car. I saw this on Unsung, the TV one Unsung.
Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin takes the car and he gone, and they stuck without a ride. And Johnny Gill just happened to be walking by, and he like, "Hey Johnny, can you come here and sing this thing, my for me? I just need." And the rest
is
history. And I honestly think, and I'm not saying that Ron is wrong. I honestly think the best person for that song at that time was Johnny Gill.
Agreed.
I don't think Babyface would have did my any justice. You know what I'm saying? Because when you talk about the growl, you got to say my. I just can't see. Every time I think Babyface, I think, when can I see you again? That Babyface. I think
that's fair. That's fair, Freezie. I agree. Look. I agree. All I'm saying is, if Babyface would have put out my during that time period when he was hot, like he was out there,
right,
it would have been a hit.
Okay.
But it wouldn't have been the same type of hit that Johnny Gill made it. No, without question. Johnny Gill took that song to a whole nother level.
He took it to another universe.
You can't, duplicate that. I agree with that.
Johnny Gill should have got 25 to life for stealing that song from After 7. You know what I mean?
Are you saying that he Luther Vandross that song?
Well,
I got Luther Vandross is now become a verb. He Luthered that song.
He Luthered that song. I like
he Luthered that song. Yeah, that he is a verb.
And I like
you will get credit for that, DSJ. Nobody can take credit for that.
I like Luther. I admire Luther. I think Luther is definitely top 50 all time black male vocalist. Definitely top 50.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
Securely in the top 50.
No, I mean, that's wild to me. I mean, Safe is not I'm surprised you got him that low. Because even like you putting him in the top 50, like he ain't in the top 15 or top 10. I think Luther's vocals are incredible, bro. Luther is incredible. Freezie snuck him in the top 50. I see where you going there, Freezie.
Yeah. No disrespect to him.
But how many more guys are that talented to sing the way Luther sings, and how he bends notes, like the Whitney Houston way to do things? I don't know.
I think all three lead singers of the Temptations can give a run for his money. All three of them. I'm talking about David Ruffin, Dennis Edwards, and the Treat Her Like a Lady guy. Anybody, y'all remember when the Treat Her Like a Lady guy was on the Jamie Foxx show?
Oh yeah. He was playing the piano. He was in the mental institution. I remember.
Yes,
I remember.
Even him.
Lenny Williams can give him a run.
Yeah.
Tower Power. Tower Power. And I ain't even gonna say to Donny Hathaway. See, it's not even a conversation.
Jeffrey Osborne.
James Ingram.
I don't know about that one. James Ingram, nah.
James Ingram's a beast, man. I don't know.
I'm not going up against Luther. Come on, bro.
I challenge you to listen to Find 100 Ways alone.
Yes.
Bro, hold on a second. Now, I mean, all due respect to you, I'm not going to clown you, DSJ, about your age, but I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just can't. Come on, yo. How's that song go? Oh man,
It's a jazzy song by well, it's all right. You got all the people in the background, and he's hitting.
Oh yeah.
He's hitting
Oh,
on
yeah.
Bad Boy Having a Party.
You talking about Bad Boy having a
Yeah.
party?
Oh
That's
yeah.
a
Yes,
good
Yeah,
yes.
song.
That's it.
that's a bad
how about
song though.
James Ingram on The Secret Garden?
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
But
To
I,
you, baby. You think Luther can do that
James Ingram
with
is
that
not.
same? Oh my God!
yes,
Bro,
yes, 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 yes.
I'm not with
You.
Corey Lee on this one.
Hey, on that Secret Garden, James
Hey,
Ingram, he was up there. Hey, he came out with a big machete and just started slicing up stuff on that dog.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
tell
how
you, and
I hear what Corey Lee's saying though, but I think James Ingram's he's a beast in his own right, man. Because
Yeah.
if Baby come to me with Patty Austin,
Ah,
that's
bro, man.
whew.
hold on a second. Let me not get mixed up around here. I'm not saying that James Ingram can't hang. You know what I'm saying? But my point to you is like when you talk about Luther, house is not a home, and you look at those songs. Those are monumental songs, like that people from not even from our race will sit there and be like, "Oh, I got to hear that again." You know what I'm saying? You talking about something that can cross over as quicker than you can cat can lick his own ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
That's my point.
But Lee, the thing about it is that song was a hit before Luther sang it. That
I
song came out in the '60s.
said,
It was, but now it's how much more of a hit was it when he put his hands on it?
Oh,
It's
it's a
timeless
smash.
now.
It's timeless
It's
now.
timeless now.
And to your point, Corey, I will say, look, Luther is probably me. This is me saying this. He might be my favorite singer all time. Me,
What?
male. Listen. I have a certain type of sound that I like to hear, and only certain people give me that sound. And Luther is one of those that gives me that sound. James Ingram is another one. He's definitely in the category, but I will say that I give Luther is his voice is so special that no matter what song I've heard Luther sing on, that song sounds great to me. Like him and Janet Jackson made that song sound incredible to me. Him and Gregory Hines, I love listening to that song. I didn't even think Gregory Hines was that talented of a singer. He's not bad on that song though. But Luther carries that. You know what I mean? Like he just makes the song sound better. So I get it. But I don't know, man. James Ingram's a beast.
Chuck, am I leaving out somebody?
Yeah, you were leaving out Freddie Jackson.
Okay.
That was the big.
That's what you was gonna say.
That was a big. That was to be the talk right there.
I apologize.
Yeah. Nah, he just wanted to get a point in just real quick. Yeah, Chuck.
Jackson, the guys that I admire, like Wilson Pickett.
Yes.
Sam
Cooke.
Guys like Sam Cooke. Percy Sledge.
Jackie Wilson.
Right. Al. We didn't say Al Green. Like I think Al Green is. So, but as far as what we were talking about before, are we talking about the actual songs? Because that's where Corey Lee went. Like, you know, the house is not a home. It's great lyrics to the song. Yeah. But we're just talking about raw vocals.
Yeah.
Nobody said Marvin Gaye. How's Marvin Gaye?
No. Someone said him. Someone mentioned Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. He was brought up. I was about to pull out Marvin.
Okay. Marvin Gaye is in my Mount Rushmore singers, so I mean he's gonna always be the first one I mention. Him and Stevie Wonder will be second.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot of male singing. That's why when I say top 50, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. But bro, there are a lot of singers from the 70s that get overlooked because they're forgotten, not because they're talented.
It's just where times have changed and people hadn't listened to the music. You know, and you had to bring the youngsters in on that.
Right.
You know,
that's fair.
Yeah. Because a lot of times you cats talking about stuff. I'm like, man, I need to pull this back out and listen to this. I got to put this back on rotation. I forgot about this. I forgot about that.
Right.
And then also, it is also subjective because, and also take into account your mood. How does it make you feel? What does it take you to? What does it do for you? Because, like I said, it's no doubt. I tell you all the time, Levert is my favorite group. One of my favorite groups. I mean, hell, like I said earlier, I have a child due to Levert. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Gerald Levert, he get to screaming. He telling you what to do. He's screaming at you what to do, giving you your instructions. You just gotta listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. No, look. You know what? I will say that there's no wrong answer to this.
Yeah. Never. It's never wrong.
Because I appreciate, this is why I love these conversations, because not only does it's great to have the conversation, but it opens your mind up to other things that you may not be thinking of at the time, because a lot of us live in our own era, like our time of music, what we really gravitated to and love. But there's other eras of music that are just as good that we have listened to and appreciate, but sometimes you forget it because you live in your era. But the top 50, I could see that, because there are a lot of special singers out there that their voice is touched. They may not even be like high note singers. They could just be smooth singers, but you can tell the guy, drink a little cup of tea and he'll sing everything and it'll sound exactly the way it sounded 20 years ago, because his voice is like that. And there's so many. This dude from the Gap Band,
Charlie Wilson, Uncle
Charlie Wilson, like there's
look,
tons of guys. Howard Hewitt,
thank you, Ron.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many. I get it.
Yeah. So, but when I said he's firmly in the top 50, I think y'all might have been thinking.
Yeah. It was disrespectful at first, but I'm understanding where you at.
How is it disrespectful? I mean,
because this is Luther. I can't do it, but you know what I'm saying, DSJ. You know where I'm going.
I get you, Ron. I get you.
Hit the note for us, DSJ. Hit the note for us.
If you want me to do it, it's gonna cost you a super chat. Yeah, I'll do it for $2.99.
Yeah, like for instance, we didn't even mention Peabo Bryson and Glenn Jones.
Man, yeah,
Peabo Bryson and Glenn Jones.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. He's firmly in the top 50. Hey, yo, you shuffle.
Hate when Freezie's right.
Yo, you shuffle the top 50 however you want to. I mean, I don't care. I'm just saying he's in there.
Yes.
You
Fair.
know what I'm saying? Because we all have our favorites or whatever. Like for me, I think one of the most slept on R&B / soul artists of all time is Keith Washington.
Washington, yeah.
We just talked about that last night, DSJ.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude is legit. And look, Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah.
People forget about this dude. Him and Philip Bailey sung. The band was like 22 members. Him and Philip Bailey sung all the lead vocals of all the songs.
Well, I'm gonna bring up a name. And DSJ about to have a fit. Brian McKnight.
Brian, see,
but he's an incredible singer. He is.
Is Brian McKnight better than Luther?
That depends on where you're looking at. Is he more versatile?
Yes,
probably.
Can he hold the note longer than him? He could probably hold the note longer than a lot of people.
Man, look, he can hold a note long enough for you to order a pizza, drink a couple of 6-packs.
Yeah.
And take a drag on
the I got a name that's still relevant to this day, and nobody really, we just breezed right over them. And that was the Isley Brothers and Ron Isley.
Him, and nobody mentioned R. Kelly.
Well, for scaling reasons.
And if you mention R. Kelly, then you gotta mention what's my man from Guy, Aaron Hall.
Aaron Hall.
Although I will say, between Aaron Hall and R. Kelly, I think R. Kelly is the better singer.
I think R. Kelly definitely got him.
But Aaron Hall, he's a beast too.
Yeah, but I think R. Kelly. Now y'all can get mad at me for saying this, but I honestly believe R. Kelly stole Aaron Hall style.
Oh no, he did 100%. You ain't Corey. You ain't saying nothing. Nobody don't. If you was around during that time, we all know it. He just said, "Listen, give me the Aaron Hall."
Yeah,
he took it.
Can't steal a style if that's just how he sounds.
No, but he sounds a way. He didn't look like him. He took the baldy and everything, man. Give me the Aaron Hall.
The glasses, Aaron Hall.
Hey, yeah, how do y'all feel about Tony Thompson from High Five?
Incredible.
Yeah,
incredible. I think he's one. If it wasn't for the fact that he was coming out of Waco, Texas, and wasn't like in Hollywood or in New York City behind different types of producers,
he'd have been a different ball game. You're right,
he
Ron.
could have been one of the best that we've seen. Like the same way you talk about a guy like Frankie Lyman.
Right.
Like he just had that sound that it was
that high tenor range, like Ralph Tresvant and those other guys.
Yeah, because you know, during that time when he came out, we talking about coming out of Texas. What was Texas known for at that time? Who was coming out of Texas at that time? Texas wasn't doing a lot of R&B. It was all about the rap. We talking about the UGKs, the Ghetto Boys, and the Run C's and stuff like that. That's a whole nother thing. But he was a bad cat too.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that's why, Ron. That's what I'm saying. He's definitely in the top 50. I don't mean no disrespect, bro.
Well, hold on. Could he be in the top 50? Maybe very late stages. But what I'll say about
Luther. No, Luther is
no. Tony Thompson. Are you throwing him in your top 50?
No, Luther is in my top 50.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I was going to. I thought maybe Tony was in your top 50.
Other guys like G from Silk. I know they can sing, right?
He's a beast.
Right, but I'm saying somewhere between 44 and 54.
Gotcha.
Right?
That makes sense.
Keep Sweat, Al B. Shore? No, they're not in my top 50.
No. Al B. Shore can't sing a lick.
Right.
He sounds good on a record, but I seen him live.
Live and in person, sound like a skink cat.
Yeah,
he got that Omarion. Nuh-uh. Live it don't work.
See, and that's
but I tell you one thing about Al B. Shore though, you cannot take this from him. The man can write some songs.
He's he's talented. He's a hell of a songwriter. Yeah. And see, and it's funny you said this. I know we're talking about guys real quick. You're talking about hearing somebody live and in person, and after you hear them live and in person, you really, you listen to them digitally or see, back then CDs or whatever.
Right.
Marsha Ambrosia. After you hear her live, and if you ever heard her sing live, you don't ever want to listen to her. It don't do her justice.
Right.
Oh, you said Marsha Ambrosia. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Man, look, I see that. Man, she can sing.
Hey, let me, Sophie, let me ask this. In our last segment, right? Let me ask you this. Historically, I want to ask Chuck this too. Historically,
Chuck ain't here.
Chuck left. Chuck did. Okay. Yeah. So for everybody, so historically, is English R&B better than American R&B?
Freezie always gonna get you with the trick.
Yeah,
he said historically. You see what he did there, right?
Yeah,
historically,
yeah. Because English R&B got some zingers in there.
Like
they got some zingers in it. Yeah, you got the loose ends in there.
You got 5 Star.
Yeah.
You got Soul to Soul.
No.
You got
that's like that's like the Olympics. The teams around the world versus the dream team of USA. When you put your best out there, no, they can't hang.
The best R&B group is New Edition, right?
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron. I didn't want to come off as like a hater.
No.
He throws some zingers out there, but I'm just call me a homer. And I just gotta say that British R&B is good, and they got some stuff, but historically I still got to roll with what came out of our way.
Who, for instance?
Well, no, and to answer your question, Freezie, no. I see what you did there. You about to set me up again.
Yeah.
The best R&B group is not New Edition. I may love New Edition, but they're not the best R&B group.
The group, no.
Okay. Khalees or Marsha Ambrosia?
Oh, without a doubt. Marsha.
Marsha
Ambrosia.
Okay. Yeah, she's English, bro.
Yeah, but I don't respect Khaleesi's vocals anyway. So
hey, but you can't tell me you do like that I Hate You song.
No, I like it. It's catchy.
Hey, couldn't you give us like Jasmine Sullivan versus Marsha?
He don't want to do that. If he give us Jasmine Sullivan, it's a problem.
Jasmine Sullivan versus
that's gonna be a major argument.
Walkover. That's not
no, it's not. No, it's a fight. It's a battle. I love to watch it. But Jasmine Sullivan's a beast.
Because Khalees is like Glass Joe in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. If we're talking about female vocalists, no, that's not.
I was trying to be
that's
respectful.
level one.
I see. I see
was
what you was doing.
Respectful, man. But I mean, okay. So what about Joss Stone versus Fergie?
Joss Stone. I like Joss Stone, man.
Joss Stone is English, by the way.
I know. I knew where you was going.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take it.
Yeah,
I knew where you was going. Yeah, I'm with you.
Right. Yeah,
it's fair. Look, they have a place in this thing we call R&B music.
Yeah, it's not like USA Dream Team versus Rwanda. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not that big of a gap because there were artists like Craig David that people forget about. Craig David, if you listen to a Craig David album, like Soulfinger, if you ever been and Soulfinger live in a city, so you probably don't drive long stretches at a time. But if you ever got on the road, if I'm driving from Myrtle Beach to Brooklyn, I could throw on that Craig David and listen to the whole album twice, bro.
I mean, you can do that here in San Diego, especially when you get caught in rush hour.
Except you're not going nowhere. You just sit in the car.
Yeah, I see what you did there, DSJ.
See, there's one big parking lot out there, baby.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not going.
Craig David is good. I'm not taking nothing. I'm not taking nothing from him. Nor taking things because Marshall Ambrosia is a force.
Anybody ever heard that artist Her?
Yes.
Yes,
but of course,
yes.
But of course,
she's up there. That's one of my like. I love her. She's like one of my up and comers.
Right, she's from the U.S., right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got another one for you, Freezie. You heard of Sid?
Yes.
What you think about her vocals, especially her falsetto?
Okay.
I don't think I know Sid.
You listen to the internet?
No.
The group internet, Ron?
No, I don't think I've heard.
Okay. Well, check them out.
Okay.
Check them out. And she has some solo albums, but her falsetto and DSJ, you let them know. Hey, her falsetto is something. It floats.
It's serious. It's serious.
Yes. Her falsetto is something mean. It's nasty. I mean, I sit up there when I first heard her, and I was like, wait a minute, man. I haven't heard a falsetto like this in my life.
Wow.
She's tough. She's tough.
I'll check it out.
There is
so let's do this. How about Jhené Aiko, American Born versus LMA?
Oh, LMA is easy. LMA. I listen, man.
Yeah.
That's easy. I like the English artist there.
Oh yeah. But I got one. What's her name? The big girl, blonde hair. She just recently got a divorce.
Adele.
Would like go against say
Mary J.
Elvana.
Yeah, Mary.
Elvana.
No, Mary J.
Yeah. No, I mean Adele wins that, but wow. See, but Adele. See, this is what I wanted to say because when Freezie brought this up, he made me think. One of the other things that upsets me about the music business, right, especially when it comes to the R&B music business, these people are talented. You know, Adele, Marsha Ambrosia, Sam Smith. They're talented, right? But their music is accepted where they come from.
Right.
In the United States, and then because it's accepted, the crossover appeal is bigger from them coming from there here. Whereas if they were artists from here going there, it's just the music's looked at differently because that's R&B music. but it's not accepted as it has to start out there for it to come over here and still be successful. It can cross over easily if they're talented from out there coming here. It's like R&B music is not the same. It's not looked at the same anymore, in my opinion.
That's a good point, though, Ron. That's a real good point. That's a real good point.
I wanted to tell you guys something too, because you would never guess this, and I'll tell Freezie because I want him to have that moment where he looks at me sideways. My favorite my favorite R&B singer, sound-wise, male, right now. Like if I had to build an R&B singer, shout out to R&B Money, the voice I would pick would be Mr. Alexander Vanderpool.
Really?
Yeah, I love Nathan's voice from Boys to Men. I think the dude can sing anything, and he can harmonize so well, and his tones are so solid. He can go high register a little bit, but his low register is just incredible to me.
I am gonna look at you sideways.
I know you was. That's why I wanted to say it. Yes, because I think the thing is, Wanye's a beast. He can really, his high register, he can hit the notes and he can take it home. Like he's a strong, powerful singer. But I like Nate's smooth tones. Put them in a battle and let them get their smooth tones on. And Wanye's right there. But I just think Nate is so smooth. When you hear how he hits his notes, and it's too smooth.
I know why you say that, Ron, because Wanye comes off like a whiny, like he's crying almost.
His
like
voice
begging.
is always out of shape. Why is his voice always gone?
Because
he's
vocal pressure all the time.
Yeah, I'm taking Joe over Wanye, bro.
Joe, how you? Yeah.
I'm taking Joe over Wanye. And
I think also too. I think for the reason that you're talking about, Wanye is a riffer.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of bends and turns and twists and turns with his vocals, as opposed to a straight note.
Okay.
So, like, you don't know if Wanye can pull off all the things your man won't do.
No.
Whereas light 1,000 candles all around, like he's singing one note and holding the note. Yeah. Wanye is a turner where if I love you again like you loved me before, it's not gonna be one note. It's going to take turns. It's going to take bends. He's a riffer in those terms. So I think that's the dynamic and why he's always looked at for specific parts of a song.
I look at him as in that fake singer. It's so funny in that fake singer category. You know how there are some fake singers out there, fake vocalists like Bobby Brown, Christopher Williams.
Whoa! If I'm dreaming, Christopher Williams.
Yeah,
that was a dope single.
Yeah, because who would you take if I could take Dave Hollister right now and sing all of Christopher Williams songs?
Yeah. Because you know what it is. I will tell you. Wait, who was the first one you said before Christopher Williams?
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Bobby Brown ain't a singer. We know that he's a performer.
You know.
Yeah,
Genuine.
You can't call yourself.
Genuine fake singer.
Oh, but I think Genuine could probably bend the note, sing a note better than Bobby Brown though. But I hear you. Yeah. I'm with you. But
Slim
the only thing,
fake singer.
Who?
Slim from 112.
Fake singer.
Fake.
Yeah.
Singer.
Yeah.
The other dude that they won't let sing lead is a great singer though.
Duran.
Is it him? Duran?
Duran, the one that got the gap in his mouth.
Yeah, the one with the super sharp edge up all the time. You like?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, did you draw that on, bro? You go to Jalen Rose Bob or something?
But now I understand what you're saying, Freezie. Because if I really listen and think back to Christopher Williams, do I think his voice is good? It's deep, but it's more like he's talking.
Yeah, he's baritone. That's it.
Yeah, baritone.
Yeah. You know that
But shout out to the deep voice baritone cats though. I had to give it to him. You know,
shout out to Lou Rawls.
Yeah, you know the Barry
You'll
Whites.
never find. Yeah, the Lou Rawlses.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah, but if you go back and look at, like, I have Christopher Williams music in my phone right now, right? But if I'm thinking like Christopher Williams or Sam Cooke,
Oh no, you can't do that though.
Yeah,
right.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Now,
Don't even
that is
don't
the
let
dream
Christopher
team versus
Williams.
Rwanda.
Yeah, don't let Christopher Williams in the room where Sam's staying. Like, I get that. Like, you don't
Man,
do
you don't
that.
even let around the building. But see, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, promises work for a cat with a voice like me. So you know.
Yeah.
Fair.
But you know what though? If Gerald Levert sung that song, will we
Oh
even
man,
know?
man, don't even give me man. Look, we talking about Jared, man. Nah, man, come on.
You feel me? So
man,
that's what I'm
look.
saying. That's why when I said Luther is firmly in the top 50, looking back, trust, he's there.
Yeah, no, I mean it's no slight, it's no disrespect. Especially you start bringing out these other great singers before him when you had to go back, and then you have cats. You know, for anybody that's listening that haven't listened, don't know who we talk about, you got to go back and listen to these singers so you can understand what we're talking about.
Right. Like,
you
don't tell me no. Keith Sweat was in a group with Gerald Levert and Johnny Gill. No, he wasn't. He was just there.
He was there. Look, and you know what? Like, I told you,
he was
I told you last night.
Yes, he was. The group should have been named LNG and that dude.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, last night
LG
when I was on
and them.
You know, I told you my insomnia kicked in, and I was going through it. I was listening to LSG,
right?
And I'm like, you know, door number one. Come through that, man. I'm sitting there listening to them and how they broke it down, and JG and Gerald were murdering that track.
Yes.
And then Gerald's ad libs make it, you know, between him and Johnny flipping the ad libs the way they do. I mean, come on, man.
Making Keith Sweat look like a genius.
You know what?
They do ad libs and Keith Sweat like, there you go, telling me now again. Like, get your ass out of
here. And thank you to Lincoln Browder and Daryl Delight Allenby for their major contributions to that album. Their songwriting and producing is top notch, and that is Exhibit A.
You know, and what you think about? Speaking of, I'll just throw out two other groups. What you think about Jagged Edge?
Oh, come on.
They suck. Next.
Cool.
Whoa,
cool.
So hold on there. Whoa, that's harsh.
They were cool.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Like, damn, DSJ, tell us how you really feel.
No, honestly, I troll them, especially them, because I used to get compared a lot to the Casey Twins when I sang. So I would always be like, nah, I don't like them. I think they're the worst singers in the world. You know, just because I troll with love, but I troll nonetheless.
with love. But I will say, in fairness, the production behind Jagged Edge, some of the songs that they have, some of them are written really well. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. But with the production and how they sound on record, it's pretty good.
They're not even the best R&B group out of Atlanta, bro.
No, they're not. But I've seen them live, and that's the reason why I take them down a lot of notches. I've seen them live, and it do not sound like that live.
It sound like that. What about
they're not even better than Silk.
And it's funny.
Oh no, well, Silk is a beast. Silk is an underrated beast of a group because it's 5 of them brothers, and they all got their own voice. They all can sing in their own way, and some of them are better than others, obviously.
You know what? I think part of the problem with Silk is when you think about group wise, you had the Troops, you got the Ready for the Worlds. You know, during that time, they were competing with them along with Mint Condition and
another overrated. That's another overrated group, bro.
Who's
the
that?
biggest competition to Silk was Shy.
Yeah, now Shy
won. Yeah.
If you talking about now, I'm just talking about singing. I'm not talking about just making music, because somebody asked me, can an average singer make great music? Mint Condition. Because when you hear Stokely, you're like, oh, okay.
Although I will say, I like Stokely. I like Mint Condition's music. It's incredible.
Yep.
But I don't like seeing like the band instrumentation. Fantastic. I don't like hearing Stokely live. That voice, the voice ain't the same live.
No,
it ain't.
The high tenor
ain't.
range don't last, bro. It don't last.
On wax is great though.
You can't go wrong with the deep voice, man.
Yeah.
Bring back the deep voice brothers.
That's why if you in that high tenor range, you better make all the music you can make right now, bro. Because once them Newports and Jen catch up with you, bro, it's over.
No, it's cool. I'm keep telling you, Freezie, it's them cools, man.
Yeah,
Corey Lee.
Yeah, my bad, them cools, my bad.
Go watch Mint Condition. I don't know where can you find it now. They probably still got Breaking My Heart on live at the Apollo. Go YouTube that. See when he gets to the end, the climax part, and he's like the quit breaking my heart part. He sounds like he's screaming. Like who are you talking to? It sounds crazy to me. Like I just, some of them that high tenor voice when you sing live, it's tough. It's tough.
That's why.
So you fellas telling me you don't feel that, you wouldn't feel that way? You feel that same way about TGT?
Yes,
of course, yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
Tank is one of the best vocalists of modern time, but you don't need Genuine or Tyrese.
Tank?
You did them a Tank.
Okay. Let me just I'm gonna just throw this just out there. I would take a nobody off the street and beat Tank right now. I would take a dude named Michael Speaks. Anybody know who Michael Speaks is?
Michael Speaks.
Yeah, and he would lose that just like he lost to Tyson.
No.
I see what you did there.
So there's an artist named Michael Speaks, bro. He would obliterate Tank. He would get up out of the bed right now and obliterate Tank. Like Tank is even better than Avery Wilson, I don't think.
No, because the problem is, I mean, I see where you're going, Freezie, because here's the thing with Tank. If you listen to Tank's voice when he's singing, I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of puts me back into that Christopher Williams thing. It's like he's talking when he's singing, but it's not the same, like a different type of singer. Maybe it's because of the tone of his voice. But what Tank got in the bag, Tank is probably top 10 in the world at bending notes and crooning. He's incredible at that. That song "Come Over" by Aaliyah, what he did on the end of that song.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite joints, man. I love it.
Jeez. Like, and he's so, because he said he practiced that his whole life. Like, that's what he studied high school. That was his thing that he tried to perfect. He's really incredible at that. But I hear you. Sometimes I hear his songs and I'm like, I don't know if I could say I'd put him in the Luther category.
What about Jodeci then, fellas?
Jodeci, you mean the best R&B group ever? Yes. With two guys singing? With two guys singing?
Yes. Are y'all ready to have that debate? Y'all ready? Anybody ready to battle me on it? I'm taking Jodeci and I'm giving y'all the field.
Okay.
Field. Going back how far?
Forever.
Oh, damn.
You can take the 12 disciples.
I'm gonna play to your heartstrings right now and just mention the Gap Band.
See,
got him.
No.
And I love the Gap Band, bro. Soulful, I just sent it to you. Michael Speaks. It's a song called "Whatever You Need," and he also has a song called "Jesus Is Real." Bro,
okay, I heard. Yeah.
Michael Speaks will.
Jesus, I heard that. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
And no disrespect to Tank, but I heard Tank at the Civic Center twice, and I was like, if you don't give me my money back, bro, or you better take me and Miss Mocha to the Waffle House. Right, because all of them, and not only were they stumbling like they were tired and drunk, they was missing stuff, and I was like, I paid $138 a piece for these tickets to sit up here within this rope, and y'all walking around out of breath. Man.
See, they were smoking up.
That's the lifestyle. That's the lifestyle.
Bro,
It sound like they were smoking Newports on that one.
yeah, man, y'all up here out of
Nah,
breath,
they was on that
not
boat.
hitting notes,
VSOP,
and they like,
Remy
no, no,
Martin.
no, yo. Look, hand to the man, hand on hip. Yo, stop the music. Stop the music, man. Yo, y'all remember this was his favorite? And then they start singing Pony for Genuine, who's just standing there hyping up the crowd. If you're horny, let's do it. They up here
Genuine fake
trash, bro.
singer.
But
I can't take it, bro.
you
Thank
know,
you.
I mean, at a certain point, Freezy, I do think that some of these artists they lose something over time,
Oh, okay.
which explained to me how they could come out with an album and put auto tune on it. These three dudes gonna put auto tune. Like, come on, man! I was so disappointed in that. I still like the song, but I was really disappointed that they put auto tune on it.
And
so they've done stuff like
respect to DSJ too. DSJ, I'm not talking about Tank from back in the day. I'm not talking about 2000 Tank. Right?
Yeah, okay. Maybe 2000. Maybe I Deserve Tank.
Yeah.
One Man Tank. Yeah.
That's a different type of dude. I mean, now he got that inner ear thing. He got one ear.
Yeah.
So that's definitely I don't know. But back to your thing, you threw down the gauntlet. I don't know how far back I could go though, Freezy. I mean, you know, because anybody could come out with the Temptations on you. That's a tough one. But
they'll lose. Jodeci better than them.
No, you bump your head, bro.
Whoa.
Respectfully.
Whoa.
Right, I love you.
Nah, bro.
Whoa.
But, you know, nah. Jodeci was dope. I'm not saying that they weren't dope, but they're not. They're as a group,
there is the line of delineation.
Jodeci
Jodeci was a band.
A band. You think they're better than Turquoise Jeep?
I hadn't heard them.
Yeah, just oh, it's a little joke. Just oh Lord. Hey, just when you get a chance, fellas, just YouTube Turquoise Jeep and just get prepared to laugh.
Is it like the Flavor Flav slow jam? Did I ever see you that?
Oh, your man, look, man,
auto tune galore.
Yeah.
They don't even auto tune the songs. They got a song called "Fried or Fertilized."
Oh my
God. Stop it.
Okay. Shout out to Alfred Griffin in the chat. He's throwing a lot of interesting names out there.
Yeah,
I see
Tony. Yeah, a man, Rome Farrock, Tony.
Yeah, man.
But I don't know. See, Drew Hill is like, you know, the little brother of Jodeci. I like them sound, but they're the little brother.
Drew Hill can't be better than Jodeci if they're the copy of Jodeci. It's a hard debate there.
And I'm with Freezy up against a lot of people. I don't know if I can say against everybody.
Boys and Men is not even close.
Why you gonna do that?
What you think about that? But Free, what you think about Tony?
That's probably my favorite group. Tony.
I thought it was the Spinners.
I like them too, man. I like them a lot. I like the Spinners,
and they're better than Jodeci.
I also like the Gap Band, SOS Band. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of. I also like Troop. I think Troop is very underrated.
Troop is underrated, and the fact that Troop could do all of that while dancing. The Whispers, the Whispers are great too, man. But this is the thing I want, and I don't mean to cut you off, Corey Lee. I hope you don't forget what you were trying to say. The thing that I will say that, like I said, I may not be with Freezy on every group, but I will say Jodeci is better than a lot of groups that you think are better. Because the one thing I will say about them two brothers is what they bring is unique. Because Casey's voice, he got that soulful, strong voice.
Bobby Womack, yep.
Bobby Womack voice.
Yeah.
But JoJo's his register is incredible. You guys already know I appreciate the smooth sound. JoJo can hit a smooth note and carry that, man. Right. Them two, if it wasn't for the fact that they had their vices with the drugs and the alcohol, them two dudes would be shattering the industry. Yeah, but that kind of messed them up big time.
Yeah, and now me getting back to the whispers though, you got to think about it. What's that? From Grandma's house. Oh my God, are you serious? The way they killed that, man.
But they cheat. They got a cheat code. They got two of the same guy.
Yeah, they got two of the same guy. Carbon copy. And the thing about that is if you're talking about, Alfred Griffin beat me to it. I was just about to say, if you're talking about groups from that, excuse me, from that era, why not the OJs, bro? The OJs, I think, if you're talking about OJs versus the Whispers, I think it's Dream Team versus Rwanda. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you put somebody against the OJs, that's not even fair, though.
Okay. All right. All right.
I mean, the only group that I knew that could really hang with the OJs, but that's because they basically did it on their own. It's like the Review, OJs versus the Four Tops. It was always,
it
was always OJs versus the Four Tops.
Yeah. No, I got you, but the reason why I say Jodeci is the greatest male R&B group of all time is because regardless of what the times are, Jodeci is going to be relevant in the times, and they are not changing. The times bend to Jodeci, right? Because if you think about all these groups that had come out right when Jodeci was out, and there were a ton of R&B groups out, right? So many you can't even. There was a PM Dawn out. There was a
Kara's Wonder Store
Extreme. What's the group with the kids from Oklahoma with the Spanish lead singer, the big dude?
All for One.
All for One. All of them are out.
Oh right? No, wait. No, it could have been Color Me Bad. Maybe that's who you're thinking of.
Them two.
All of them.
All of them, bro. All these groups are out, and Jodeci becomes stars before their album comes out, bro. Because this poor dude named Father MC had a song called "Treat Them Like You Want to Be Treated," right? And he is up there saying, saying 1, 2, 3, and no disrespect to Father MC, right? Father MC, if you watch it, man, we love you, bro. But Father MC is deep in his vocal, like 1, 2, 3, and these dudes are in church over him. Treat them, and this dude busting and says, "Ooh yeah, over Father MC." Like, dog, I can't even get my lyrics out. And Jodeci is stealing the song from him, and Father MC held down that summer, and they stole his song. And another lady that wasn't out yet was on Father MC's second song, right? If you do for me, I would. They stole these songs. They stole the song from this dude. Yeah.
So Father MC just likes giving out favorites.
So basically he got looped.
That's Uptown MCA. That's Uptown MCA. That's what you're talking
about.
That's the
right.
Yeah. But my point is they stole Father MC's song, right? And then the first song that they come out is a song written by Al B. Shaw. But then you just buy the album just off of the Faith of Forever My Lady, the radio, the radio song. And then you start hearing songs like Stay, You and I. Bro, when I hear You and I right now, it gives me chills, bro. It gives me chills, bro.
And the best song they ever came out with, which is my favorite song ever, wasn't even a single. Ooh, I don't know. I wouldn't say I see what you did there, but no, it's My Heart Belongs to You.
Yep, that's my favorite. Yeah, that's me and Mo's song. That's our anniversary song.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Fiendin'.
Fiendin' for baby, Fiendin' for. But yeah, man. Jodeci, and then when you think about Jodeci, right? The Temptations. If Motown didn't have the battery in their back, where would the Temptations be? Just like they were when they were on Atlantic Records, a ham sandwich. When the Temptations were on Atlantic, they were a ham. Matter of fact,
well, no, there's truth to that. What he's saying. I mean, you could see that from just watching the Temptations story. They couldn't put together a hit song.
Right, they could not. Right, and so if we're talking about the assembly line groups, if we're talking about New Edition, what happens when Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis step away from New Edition?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Puff.
and listen. Come on, man! Don't do it like that.
Yeah.
That was that. I like that song though.
And Rewrite the Memories was dope. Rewrite the Memories to me is probably their Can You Stand the Rain? You know what I'm saying? Of the new millennium, right? But my thing is, all these groups that y'all are gonna mention, if you take away the super producer, who are they? Right, when you take away when you take a Babyface away from Boyz II Men, who are they?
Better under Mike Bivins.
They are better under Mike Bivins, yes. In my opinion,
they are.
In my opinion, you know what I'm saying. But the thing about Jodeci is self-contained. As a matter of fact, Jodeci is so dope that their producer inspires another group of up-and-comers under him.
Shout out to the Basement.
Yes.
But maybe there's a cheat code there, Freezie, because maybe Jodeci had their own super producer.
Yeah, they did.
Because Devontae is a beast.
Dalvin and Devontae.
Yeah.
Both of them. Dalvin and Devontae.
And I've seen them live like 5 times. And I thought initially that Devontae and them couldn't sing. They stepped away from them instruments and grabbed the microphone, and they can sing. There is no hiding Otis. You know what I'm saying? There's no hiding Mike Bivins. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
There's no, shut up, Mike. You just gonna rap during the break. Nah, ain't none of that, bro. Jodeci is better than a lot of the. For instance, what were the Whispers before they ran into LA and Babyface at the elevator in that hotel? They were nothing.
Whoa. They had some.
You gonna tell me Olivia Lost and Turned Out? Is that the song you read? That the song you gonna tell me about, man?
No.
Are you gonna
get ahead, Corey? Go ahead. Say your piece, man. I'll come back.
No, I was gonna say you gotta think, because Gamble have their hands on the Whispers too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what are their songs? Are we gonna talk about Lady? Lady is that joint, the slow jam?
Yeah,
Olivia.
Yeah,
that's true. But what I'm getting at is Lady was that joint, right? Like you shooting pool, you in the pool hall. You said they put on Lady. It's like the ambiance joint, right? But Lady is not rock steady. Let's be real. Let's be real.
That's fair, but and the beat goes on.
Is that not also LA and Babyface?
That's LA and Babyface.
Is it?
There. Yeah.
No, is it?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And the beat goes on.
Yeah.
Babyface.
I don't know, man. I gotta check that one out because I always thought that was someone else.
I don't know who else though. So even with them, like the separator for them.
No. Actually, that's the Whispers and Dick Griffey. That's not LA and Babyface.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that did sound soul trainy. You know what I'm saying? But my point is when you compare Jodeci to other groups, I'm comparing the band itself and their self-production, right? Versus everything, because if you take, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for what used to be the dude that used to be the head of MCA Records, the black
Gerald
guy,
Busby?
If it wasn't for Gerald Busby, where would New Edition be, bro? Jodeci, however, Jodeci morphed from a Boyz II Men comp at the time, I'll Be Sure type comp at the time, to whatever they wanted to be, and people listening to music changed the way. If there's no Jodeci, there is no Jagged Edge.
That's fair. And I will say that they did come with their own sound. I mean, that first album, that first album was recorded in like 2 weeks, and most of that album was on their demo.
Yes,
that's crazy.
So Puff gets a lot of credit in those circumstances, right?
No. Devontae said, I saw an interview. Devontae said he had about 80 songs already. And they had to cut the album down to like 13 songs.
And Puff even said it himself. When it comes to them, when they first came out, he don't take credit for their sound. He takes credit for their styling, though.
Yeah,
but not their sound.
Corny. Yeah, and even when Puff say that, Mr. Dalvin had already had a style for them already. The North Carolina part of it didn't want to accept the new style, right? They didn't want to be that, and then Puffy was like, if y'all don't do it, I'm not signing y'all. And then they, that's what it is, kind of in a nutshell. But the thing about Jodeci is, regardless of what, for instance, Soulful, you remember how great the Gap Band was?
Yes, sir, I do.
In their prime, right? Mm-hmm. But do you know how long it took them to get to that point, bro? To get in their prime?
It took them a minute.
Like a decade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Kool and the Gang. Once Kool and the Gang caught fire, they probably are the second greatest R&B band ever, right? Them and Earth, Wind & Fire is kind of like some type of toss-up tie. I always give it to Kool and the Gang because Earth, Wind & Fire depended on people to write their music, right? But my thing is, Jodeci, regardless of the time, the era, whether it's slow jam, slow rap, hardcore, whatever, Jodeci's music, you can listen to Jodeci music anytime, any mood you in, you can listen to Jodeci, right? But if you didn't break up with your girl, you probably not gonna put on Boyz II Men, right?
Yeah, should put on Jodeci.
You'll put on Jodeci though,
especially when you got Jodeci with on that Wu-Tang joint.
Oh,
like. Okay, go ahead, bro.
What about what y'all see? There's a piece that y'all missing. I mean, like, so you don't see when you mention. I can't help it when you mention Earth, Wind, and Fire. I automatically think of the Isleys. It's like because what you said took a minute because the Isley Brothers were like a gospel group for at least 10 years before they even hit an R&B swing. You know what I'm saying? And went and did their thing. And then, like, other than the fact that 85% of them are gone now, you know what I'm saying? They're still strong.
Right.
They can still hang in there.
But the thing about them, is even though they've been out for 65 years or however long it is, so almost 70 years or whatever, however long it is, even though they've been out that long, they, over the course of that time, would go 7 years without a hit, 8 years without a hit.
Yeah, they went because they did the doo-wop thing. They did do some They came out that doo-wop with the suits and all like that for a while.
Yeah,
and they started morphing their sound.
Their first hit was Shout.
And Ronald was, I think, like 16. I don't know. He was young as hell, and he don't look like it, but he was young.
Yeah, he was young. And then and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love the Isleys because I think the Spend the Night that was on Smooth Sailing album.
Was that 83?
88.
88. Okay.
It was 88.
Oh yes, Spend the Night. Sessual Tonight.
Yeah, that was 88. Then after that, what did they do after that? Because it wasn't until R. Kelly came to the scene and brought them back.
That was like, was that 10 years later?
No, longer than that, Freezie.
But you
Yeah,
could said, but you could say the same thing for Charlie Wilson if it wasn't for Snoop.
yeah,
And R. Kelly.
and the
And R.
dramatics,
Kelly. And
and
R.
the
Kelly
dramatics.
too.
Yeah,
With
R.
them.
Kelly and Charlie, yeah. I mean, you got them. They came back to relevance, but then once, I mean, but out of the two, and I, don't get me wrong, I love Ron Isley and all like that, but Uncle Charlie been on a whole tear ever since then. He ain't slowed down.
right, right. But my point
Yeah, back to
is
your
Jodeci
point.
as a group, when they wanted to make music, they were relevant. Right, when they wanted to make music. Now there's a long stretch where they didn't care. They was out and they in rehab. One dude had a stroke, and all types of stuff where
And dealing with the booger sugar and stuff.
yeah, where they weren't trying to be relevant, trying to get their life together, and they weren't relevant. But the Isley Brothers consistently put out music over the. You can look at their discography on Wikipedia, and you can just see album, and you're like, they got that much music. What did I miss? You know what I'm saying? But Jodeci, like I don't know which album you guys like better. But for me, I think all the albums are equal, even though we all have our favorite albums. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? For instance, you can't say that about New Edition. When you listen to early New Edition album, it sounds like Maurice Starr produced it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds synthesized.
And the bubble gum.
You're like, oh, okay, all right. I got to be in the mood to listen to this, right?
Yeah.
But Jodeci. Think about Jodeci's album came out 32. Stay Forever My Lady came out 32 years ago. And when you hear it, you like, yo, that's still fire. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I got a question for you, and this is for the panel. You know what I'm saying? How do you all feel about Frankie Beverly and Maze as far as a band and as a group? Because even though it's Maze is the band and it's featuring Frankie Beverly, that's still but they it's like peanut butter and jelly. They got to go together. You understand what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other.
Well, I'll say something first because I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know that much about Frankie Beverly and Maze. I know that the two songs that everybody knows that
Let Go. Joy and Pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Joy. Yes. Those are my joints. But I don't know about the music that they put together. I don't know about the albums. I really couldn't tell you. They have a certain sound that I know is timeless for those two songs, those two tracks. But I don't know about the rest of their music.
I mean, they had like
Happy Feelings.
Yeah, Happy Feelings.
Yeah, Happy Feelings.
Yeah.
Summer was it?
Someone to Love.
What is that?
Someone to Love.
Yep.
And that summer. How does that song go?
The Cookout song. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what's the Cookout song they got.
Before I Let Go.
Before I Let Go.
Before I Let Go. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but they got another one. Oh my God. What is it?
And thanks a lot, Beyonce, for ruining a classic. God.
Yeah.
Which one? Which song did she make?
Before I Let Go.
Before I Let Go.
Did she?
Yeah, she ruined it. She ruined that.
Oh, I don't know.
And Ron, let me say this also, just real quick. If there's no Jodeci, I honestly believe there is no Blackstreet. When you look at Blackstreet does not look like Boys II Men, bro. They don't even look like Guy.
Yeah, they did. I mean, when they first came out,
I don't know because
look, but I think they still would have been a Blackstreet. They just wouldn't have that look. They had a different kind of look and style.
No, because don't forget that Teddy Riley was Rex-N-Effects and Guy before Blackstreet, so there was already a hip hop influence in the way that they were perceived style wise. I can't give you that.
Okay, and he is from Harlem too, by the way. So there's that that part to it. So yeah, I could see that one. But I do think Jodeci is better than any group y'all can name, even the Commodores.
That's a hard pill to swallow, bro. That's just a hard pill to swallow.
That's how you just got to
there's
break it
so
up
many
in
groups.
pieces, bro. You got to get a chewable. You got to get a chewable. You know what I'm saying?
You tell them to get it, put it on the counter and mash it, break it down with the spoon.
Yeah, like a goody powder.
BC powder go a long way.
Yeah, man. The thing about Jodeci
also
is
tears up your stomach lining.
yeah. Have you passing gas in the elevator? Yeah, definitely.
See, for me, and don't get me wrong, I hear what you're saying, Freeze. Jodeci is because they were trendsetters and a lot of the music they put out. One group I'm looking at is like Tony because they were versatile in what they did, and they also survived they also survived when the lead singer left when he went out and did his own thing with Raphael Sadiq.
When they fired him,
yeah, so
they fired him and brought in a dude that sung background vocals for him.
Yeah,
and then they would trash, and then they asked him to come back. Oh, my bad, man. We was just playing.
You want to know what's weird? You remember Public Announcement?
Yeah, R. Kelly's backup singer.
Not R. Kelly, but after R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And they came out with a body bumping single, and they
Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay, we'll bump your body, baby.
Felony Davis is now the new lead singer to Tony.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna be interesting because they're going on tour with because Raphael is back with them on tour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. That is wild.
Wow, bro. That's why. And
that's crazy.
And even though I like Tony, I always felt like they were well, you know what? They are. How about this? I won't say they're a copy of Sly and the Family Stone. I will say they are definitely Oakland Stroke heavily influenced. I'll put it that way.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because their sound is so unorthodox to East Coast ears that when you hear stuff from them, like they had a song called "Me and You" on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right, and it's such a unorthodox slow jam. You know what I'm saying? It's like little boys singing to little girls, except they grown. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, what is this I'm listening to? Like, it lets.
Now, you know what? And Freezie, it could have been that because now I don't know about the history prior to that. It could have been that when they wrote for that soundtrack, they were trying to get in the minds of what was happening in the movie, and so they wrote it from that perspective.
Well, actually, when you talk about it, when they put that scene in it, because that was what the track was on? It was in Boys in the Hood, right?
Yeah, that was when Trey was on the phone. When
Trey on the phone,
football,
and they play. Yeah, and that track goes along with that scene.
Yeah, that's
why we need to revisit Boys in the Hood because we never finished that movie.
Yeah,
reviewing that movie for you.
I mean, you whatever you want to do, boss.
Yeah, we're going to figure out. We got to get time. Yeah, we got to revisit that. Finish it off.
Yeah,
we never got past the first stanza.
Because that movie, it just as a side note, that movie might be one of the greatest black movies ever. If you don't just look at all the entertainment value and think about what it is that you're watching. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying it's the greatest. What I'm saying is let's not just have it in the old street gang movies. Let's take it out of the street gang movies and put it into black cinema. And if you think about it that way, then it's like, okay, now it dawned on me that Ricky's girlfriend is 17 and she actually living with Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
And and Ricky's mother was ghetto ratchet, and she was actually trying to improve herself throughout the course of the movie. She was improving herself slowly but surely. So Soulfinger, whenever you ready, bro. You know.
Hey, I want to say something. I want to say, Ron, you need to check because you don't know nothing about me. I need you to take some time and go on to sit there and listen to them. And I
think I will.
I promise you, you're gonna have a whole totally new perspective of them. You know.
Okay. I shall do that.
I'm because I'm gonna shout out a couple of songs that they have, you know, other than of course, before I let go, but you got the after the morning after, you got
Trash.
301.
Trash.
What?
He trolling. He trolling, bro.
He trolling.
Wait. Hold on. The morning after.
No,
Yeah,
after,
the morning
after,
That's
after.
not
after the morning after.
Not the
That's
pill.
not.
After the morning after.
Not Duran
Come on.
Duran.
Okay.
After the soul is whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Sing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sing it, Corey. At least sing it.
Yo, did Jalen Martin
Happy
score
Feeling?
55 points for the Knicks?
Who?
No.
Jalen Martin, did he score 55 points for the Knicks?
No.
Simpson said he had a good showing. I didn't watch. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna go
Nah,
back
he
and watch
did. He
it. I'll
did have.
take it.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
that's my
throughout his
topic
career
tomorrow.
with the G League. Maybe.
No.
About...
Come on,
Okay.
stop messing with my topics for tomorrow, man. But
I'll say this, Ron. We giving you some homework to check up on some people.
Yeah,
So,
I see. So you gave me Frankie
Yeah.
Beverly and Mays, and then you said Sid.
Sid. So well, check out the internet and then go Sid.
Right. There are other groups too, though. Like there are groups like M2Me.
M2Me,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
M2Me
Yeah,
was
from the
Yeah,
early
yeah,
80s.
yeah.
Is M2Me Juicy Fruit?
Yeah, that was 86.
Yes.
Yeah.
You, me, and he.
That's
Yeah.
what got Puff. I mean, that's what Puffy came with to Biggie, and Biggie was like, "What?
Yep.
Juicy?
Yep. Yeah.
Who's the group that did AEIOU?
A-E-I-O.
AEIOU.
And sometimes why I remember that. I can't remember the name of the group though.
I'm trying. I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's the skating rink. Wow.
How about girl groups? How did girl groups impact y'all?
Love me some girl groups. Love me some girl groups.
What's DSJ? What's your favorite era of girl groups, bro?
91 through 90.
You said 95, 94, 95?
Please don't say
96.
Please don't say 96, bro. See,
But yeah, that's the cutoff period right there. Cause
now
Jay...
you're including Moken stuff and all.
Man, you don't 702.
Oh my god!
Oh no! Oh god!
That's opening up the garbage or leaving a pot on the stove too long. Like,
Yeah, pot of college. You left it up there 3 days.
No, not a pot. That's that pot of chitlins.
Oh god! Oh my god!
That's
Moken stuff.
The frying pan with the liver in it.
Oh my god!
Liver and onions. Oh god!
Oh no, man! But you know that liver and onions. No, but man, come on, man. You know if you let that pot of chitlins sit for a minute,
I'm throwing the whole pot away, bro.
Yeah,
facts.
I don't care about you putting an onion in there. Look, I don't care if you put an onion in that joker. I don't care if you remove the membranes. It still smells like.
Yeah. I don't care if you put vinegar on it. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Bathe it in milk. It can only do so much.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Look, you can spray high karate throughout the house. You can spray high karate throughout the house.
Spray it in your vents and have it just travel through your vents. It still won't get rid of it, bro.
No, not at all.
But you talk about Freezie, you mentioned female groups. I thought In Vogue is one of the top female groups.
Brownstone.
Who else?
Brownstone, SWV, Jade.
Yeah, Jade. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jade, let me tell you something. That era.
Johnny.
It's a groove thing. Yeah.
There's another group that didn't get a lot. I'm sorry. Let me shoot this out there, and I'll get back to you, Ron. Was Jazzy Fat Nasties. They were under group that people really didn't know about. They had a different sound.
Yeah, I damn sure don't know about Jazzy Fat Nasties. What?
Yeah, they were out.
Is this another little joke?
No, I'm serious.
Jazzy Fat Nasties?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I ain't never even.
I heard that Corey Lee was actually the object of that song. Don't walk away from Jade.
Yeah.
And once you said
And
Jack,
I
you made
want
me
to tell you
think
how
of
much I'm a fan of you, Corey Lee, because them girls was something that
Yeah. They
no.
redid Don't Ask My Neighbor, and that's a classic.
Yeah, like the Jade is definitely very underrated because all three of them can sing. Two of them, well, one of them better than the other two, but the other two can hold the note. They can harmonize. They're pretty damn good, and they sound the same live. So I respect Jade.
Okay.
But when I was talking about the actual female groups, though. Yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of female groups during that time period. It was incredible. The competition was, enormous. I don't see, but I don't know. When did Escape come out?
Ooh, that was 90s. Yeah, 92. Yeah.
Right. So you talking Escape? I think Cut Close was incredible.
Cut Close was in there. Yep. Yeah.
I'll be right back, man. My dog.
Yeah. There was so many good groups during that time.
What was that? What was that girl group Puffy had that was pretty good too?
Total.
I'm
Total.
talking about Total. Yes. Yep. I like them.
Total Disaster.
They had a nice sound, and it was a groove type sound. But I mean, they weren't the best singers, and Pam definitely was not.
Yeah.
But they had a nice sound. But like, if I'm gonna think about singers, then it's like the Escapes, the In Vogues,
Yeah.
Cut Close, Jade. That like those groups could sing. Like they could
SWV.
take a song. SWV, yes, Sisters with Voices for rap. That's definitely. I don't know.
Yeah. What about Climax? Nah. Even though that's not in the 90s, it's more 80s. They had a different sound.
They were good too.
Yeah, but I don't know if they would. But yeah, Climax would be. What now? That song, "Object of My Affection," was that Climax? No, that wasn't Climax.
No,
I don't remember who that was. Oh no, that was a single. That was a solo singer, female. Yeah.
I'll tell you another. Speaking of solo singers that slept on and nobody really talks about. Well, I got two. Stacey Lattisaw.
Yeah.
And
Layla Hathaway.
And yeah, she was okay.
Layla Hathaway. Yeah, man.
But
who was the other one?
Tracy Spencer.
Yeah, Tracy Spencer was good, but she only had them 2 hit songs.
Right.
Yeah.
And she didn't do. I don't think she recorded a lot.
No, she started modeling, bro. Yeah, she started modeling, man. Triborough Gigolos in the building.
Let's go. And I can never not think of Stacey Lattisaw, because you can't think of Johnny Gill and not think of Stacey Lattisaw. I just can't not think of them. You know what I mean?
Man, look, they put on a show. Perfect combination.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And for that reason, New Edition gets 0 credit. Because anytime somebody is in 3 different groups, you can't get extra credit. New Edition. I'm sorry. He was in LSG.
Well, Johnny Gill, you got to think. Hold on a second, Freeze. Which calls credit. Johnny Gill begged to be in that group. It wasn't like they were looking for Johnny Gill. At the time.
Which group?
Wow, I just got this.
Because both groups were.
Wait, you don't mean? No. No. They asked him if he wanted to be in New Edition because they had issues with Bobby and they kicked Bobby out the group.
Yeah.
No. It was before they got rid of Bobby. He always wanted to be in the group, and it was like no. And it was until they got rid of Bobby that's when he got in the group.
And Lee, Lee, he had an album about 75% finished on Motown. That's why, do you notice when they did that album and went on tour, his album came out right after they came off tour? Because his album was already finished on 75% finished on Motown. They asked, Michael Bivins asked him, and it's not as a Bobby replacement, it's because he was the Ralph replacement.
Right.
That's why it is, bro. They was like, yo, if Ralph, because remember Ralph played the out, Ralph was coming out with the and I know Ralph, I saw Ralph do a IG live and he lied and he laughed because he knew he was lying, right? He was Ralph was gonna come out with a Don't Be Cruel album, and Bobby heard that. That's why when you hear certain songs on the Don't Be Cruel album, like every little step, you're like, is that Bobby or is that, you know what I'm saying?
Ralph, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. That's that thing where we heard that Ralph is all throughout that song.
Yeah. I heard he was throughout except for Roni, the Babyface song. Yeah, so I was like, man, if I'm Ralph, because he was like, because the lady asked him, she was like, so how did you feel about Bobby stealing your stuff and you not being able to come back with it? He was like, hey, you know, that's my brother and I love him. And sometimes love is more important than this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, I would have knocked Bobby.
You couldn't get to him quicker.
Yeah, man. And to be honest with you, while the Stone Cold Gentleman album is not better than Bobby album, the Stone Cold Gentleman album is pretty decent though.
Well, it is decent. It's decent.
Yeah. Because there's a song on there called Last Night. Man, I played that for my girlfriend one time. Lee, I played it for my girl, bro. We was arguing. You know how back in the day, on the block, there used to be like the big blue mailbox on the corner. It used to be like the bus stop. That's where the bus stopped at or whatever. And we just there,
the big
bro.
Mailbox on the green one.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we just standing there, bro, arguing like cats and dogs over bullshit. Like we ain't even arguing over nothing, right? She like, but when you go back off leave, you gonna be messing around with all them girls. And I'm like, listen, you know you the one. I'm here with you. Why are you worried about what I'm gonna do when I get back to Fort Hood? Come with me. And she like, my mama won't let me. Girl, you 23 years old. Talk about your mama. Tell your mom's to mind her business before I let go. You know what I'm saying?
With the good solo. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Your mom is in my business. She's in my business.
She 20. Lee, and the funny thing, she 23 years old. Work for my bell. She worked at the phone company. Y'all remember when people used to work for the phone company?
Oh my God!
No, am I too old?
Nah, you ain't.
Nah, I remember.
And she could have transferred right there in Colleen, right there to that.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah, I'm like, come on. And so that night, so we go to the movies, and we go see this movie called Jungle Fever. I know don't nobody remember that movie. To me, it's a classic, right?
Oh, come on.
But we walk to Journal Square. We walk to Journal Square. We go to the movies. We see Jungle Fever, and we walk back in the dark, right? And we shouldn't have, because I don't know, but maybe we were stupid. But we walked back because we probably could have got robbed about 19 times. We walked through all them neighborhoods. But anyway,
did everybody start looking like Gator after the movie?
Yes. Samuel L. Jackson, you did your thing. But we got back, we sitting on the stoop, and she got her Walkman. No lie, she got her Walkman, and she just sitting by me. She takes out her Janet Jackson tape and put it in her pocket. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm in trouble. So
did you with the Let's Wait a While?
Yeah, because when I saw Janet Jackson, I was like, we about to break up. Because anytime you see the Janet Jackson tape, you know she is so mad that she can't talk. Like back in the day, your girl used to be so mad that she can't talk. like now they'll throw on some Mary or something like that. But back then it was the Janet Jackson tape. But she takes it out
Anita.
and yeah, or something, right? And she takes it out and she puts in, and she fast forwarding, and she takes the headphone. This is like, you remember when the puffy headphone used to be on the end, like the wire used to go across your head, and it's like a puff. And she take the earpiece off, and she give me one, and we listen to Last Night by Ralph Tresvant, right? And I'm listening to Ralph saying, "Last night we made love for the very first time," all this stuff, and I'm looking like, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to bump uglies?" You know what I'm saying? And so I grab by the hand and we go upstairs. And after that, man, I'm thinking, like, all this time I listened to Stone Cold Gentleman and Sensitivity and all of that. Like, oh, this thing. And then when I got into the second side of Ralph's album, where those other songs were, I was like, Ralph, this is like a Babyface album. When you listen, like when you be in certain modes, the DSJ, that's why I asked you when we were solo, when we were by ourselves, I asked you, like, do certain songs put you in like a certain, so like Last Night, right? I think about Nicole. Every time I hear Last Night, I think about Nicole. I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm Nicole. I'm not thinking about you, Miss Mocha. If you know, I'm not thinking about. I gotta change the names for the end. I'm thinking about Mickey. Every time I hear Last Night, I'm thinking about Mickey, right? And so that's why I asked DSJ, like, were there any turning points when y'all listen to music? Like, when you listen to a song back then, did you pivot in your life? Like, did something happen? And then ever since then, like, every time you hear it, do you like think back to that time? Not trying to recapture it, but just remembering.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the soundtrack of our lives.
And why you mention it, your so-called greatest R&B group at the time, and Jodeci. I can remember, I was with a certain young lady, and this is where I was about to, like, this is when I had to make a change in my life. I was about 21, 2021, and I seen, like, my environment get more and more
Right.
toxic.
Right.
And the lady that I was with at the time, I told her what my plans were.
Okay.
Like, things are not, things in my life are not, things for us right here in New York are not going well. I planned on, joining the army. How do you feel about that? Well, why are you gonna go and be away from us and stuff like that? I said, no. I said, I'm gonna be gone for you. I had to break it down to her and stuff like that. But when I hear that Jodeci, and that lets me know, like, yeah, that's the point of my life where I was stagnant and I had to go ascend somewhere else. So yeah,
Okay.
very much so, very much so.
So it does happen. It's not just me. It's just that I'm not a simpleton. Because I used to think, damn, I'm soft. I'm a simp. Am I a simp? Because back in the day, like, and listen, I don't have like no attachments to them people back in the day. I'm just saying, in that moment, you find out kind of not who you are as a person totally, but you learn something about yourself, is what I'm getting at.
That's fair.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Freeze.
Yeah, man. I felt like in that moment, like, I learned something about myself just now, right? Like, I learned the value of things. Like, so, like Lee, you ever learned the value of things through a song?
Yeah.
Like Weekend Love. Like, you ever heard the song Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? The reason why I say that, Lee, is because when you were in school, you ever had a girlfriend in school and then a girlfriend on the block on the weekends? Like, say you're 11 years old, you got your say you're 11, you in 6th grade, and you go to school every day, Monday through Friday, and you got your little girl, and she live like 13 blocks away, and she just your girlfriend at school. But then you got like the girl on the street with you. She your little crush. Like maybe she got a crush on you, and she be like your little the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else do that? Soul Finger, is that just me? Is that a New Jersey thing?
No, that's not even in New Jersey. That's a everywhere you go. Like, well, I don't know because I know in New York because of course, New York has so many different public schools, or some people's parents were fortunate enough to send their kids to a private school. You know what I'm saying? Up till maybe high school or something like that, or they went to a parochial school or something like that. So you had your public school girlfriend, and you had your other little girlfriend. So when after you did your homework and you got the chance to go to hang out outside for about those 3 or 4 hours after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you would see her get off the bus wearing her either a Catholic school or a private school uniform, and you walk her home and stuff like that, and try to get her to come outside after the fact. And she's like, "No, my mama ain't home yet."
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
I kind of understand what you're saying, Freezie, because I used to have that same thing. Like when I used to hear Babyface, it made me think, man, I really like Babyface.
Right.
The end.
Right. Babyface taught you stuff. Babyface taught you stuff like the value of things. Like if you really love this girl like you think you do, you'll buy her clothes, you'll pay her rent, you'll cook her dinner too.
I mean, in a way, kind of, it did make me think that was the value. That was like what someone was supposed to do. Right. That's true. That is true. And I kind of, I think the other thing is music kind of makes you see things in people. Well, especially when you're young and impressionable. Like when you wasn't really looking for something, the music makes you think, man, maybe I should be looking at this.
At this.
You know what?
I mean,
that sounds like this person.
Yeah.
And I told you, Freeze. Hey, I told you for real though, that album. I told you, I my firstborn.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Gerald Levert said do things, so I did things.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I swear you the man.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hey, he said, hey, all seasons. I mean, that's what it was about. I mean, hey, you just said do things. I did things with Irk and Jerk and all seasons.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. I
I was ready.
Was it the dark? Was it the dark Irk and Jerk, or was it the white? Nobody talks about the white EJ.
Oh no, a lot of people don't know about the light, but it was the dark.
Yeah.
That Christian Brothers went hard in the paint.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about them.
So I got one more question I got to ask y'all, and then I got to get out of here because my phone ringing, bunch of stuff. This is a question that I always ask y'all before we part. Right? Is there a sleeper song from this era that you feel like is just your song that you feel like nobody on this panel will remember or have ever heard, but you feel like it's a classic to you?
Oh yeah, but I got to come up with a new one because I already told you mine before.
From between 86 and 90?
Oh, between 86 and 90. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot the show. Yes.
Yeah.
Between 86 and 90. Oh. Huh. I think I might have to cheat. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might have to cheat because I'm not good like y'all. Y'all crazy. I don't know how y'all know exactly when a song came out. I don't be remembering
all
no
this
years,
stuff.
nothing. I don't be remembering no years, nothing.
Right.
Let somebody else think about that while I'm cheating.
Me. I am. We are one. May.
Okay.
Don't wait for me, Morris Day.
Oh man, Trevor, you still? Hey, DSJ Soulfinger just Yeah, I'm telling you. Okay, so I know those songs too, and then Triborough hit me with the joint, bro. Yo,
Yeah,
this,
that
yeah.
trial borough. Yeah, trial borough. Yeah,
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 definitely.
Oh my,
yeah.
I think this might be his best song, bro. This, that, and the song Natalie on his,
Natalie was the other
Yeah,
one. Touchy was
Natalie's
another
definitely
good
up
one he
there.
had too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ryan, you got one?
Oh man, I'm thinking. Oh, it's too. I'm cheating right now, and I'm looking at the top 100 songs from 19. But this ain't really doing it for me. I like because it's a song that's special to me during that time period. Man, I don't know. There's so many songs out here, and I
I
just
mean,
can't
that was
remember the
just
time period.
yeah. I mean, I shut that off right off because activities.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed that y'all are leaving out certain artists. Don't limit yourself when it comes to artists.
Hmm.
Because I'm thinking like Sunshine by Alexander O'Neal, maybe.
Oh,
If You
that's a
Were
good
Here
one. Yeah.
Tonight by Alexander O'Neal.
See, that's the other one for me too, Freeze, because that goes hand in hand with "Don't Wait for Me."
Right. 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 If You Were Here to, yeah. I mean, what's the song from Ready for the World? Let Me Love You Down. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. Come on.
Bro, there's so many songs.
Deeper, but that was later by
Yeah,
Troop.
yeah,
Deeper.
yeah. Um, um, what's the other joint,
Oh,
man?
hold on a second. This is a group that uh 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 Force MDs,
Tender Love,
home,
Love Is a House.
Tender Love, Love is a House, both of them right there, one and two.
Yeah, man.
Force MDs.
Um. Maybe 1989. This One's for the Children by New Kids on the Block. No, I'm just joking. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. That's tough for me because I can't really. I'm sure if I
What
say
about
something.
Husband by Shirley Murdoch? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Your
What about Changing Faces?
Oh yeah, I was just talking about
Stroke
them.
you up,
Wow.
stroke you
Just
down.
talking about them
Mhm,
the other
mhm,
day.
mhm.
Yeah. Alfred Griffin says Tears. That was the joint. That
Tears was a good song. That's Force MDs. Yeah, that was a
yeah,
good song.
that falsetto was
Mhm.
fire. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one for me, Freezy. I don't know if I could figure out a song that came out during that time period that I really
No Orange
loved.
Juice Jones, Walking in the Rain.
But that's a song everybody know. That ain't a sleeper.
Okay.
If you don't know Walking in the Rain during that time period, I mean
Oh,
maybe the young whippersnappers these days don't know that song, but
that's true. That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. And I'm gonna throw mine out. As soon as I throw it out, I'm gonna try to find another one. But there's a song by Herb Alpert called "Making Love in the Rain" with Lisa and Janet Jackson.
Oh, and Janet Jackson. Yeah, that song goes so hard in the paint.
That joint is so.
That is the
Matter of fact,
that's
her
ooh.
sampled it. For what's the her song? She sampled it.
Was it Damages?
Damage. Yeah,
Damage.
damage.
Yep.
Damage.
Damn it, yeah.
They sampled "Making Love in the Rain." That joint was
Mm-hmm.
so fire, bro. That girl, I ain't gonna say her name because she don't matter no more. But she played that joint for me. She's like, "You heard the new Janet Jackson song?" I was like, "No, what Janet Jackson song?" You always play Control for me. Every time you get mad, you playing Control. What have you done for me lately? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You always playing. You know what I'm saying? Sending me these subliminal messages. Always playing the Control album. But she's played "Making Love in the Rain," bro, and I was like, "This is bananas." Because
Mm-hmm.
as a shorty, we thinking about I'm thinking about going to the beach and all that stuff. We talking about Jones Beach, Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm thinking
Yep.
as a shorty,
Yep.
right? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? and or somewhere in Cherry Hill, somewhere in South Jersey, somewhere, right? And I'm thinking like the song "Making Love in the Rain," and when that saxophone start playing, bro,
it's a wrap. And
it's
see,
over.
and see that was part of the torture rack.
Yeah, man.
You funny, bro.
You had to. Everybody, hey, you had that play because that's when you made them CDs and you look, when you had the playlist and you had the CDs going, you got to have it building up. You say, about this time it should be happening right about now. That was one of the tracks.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Did I ever tell y'all that about? I had a homeboy that made a slow jam CD for me. This was like back in the day before people was burning CDs. I ain't gonna tell that story because it's so embarrassing. But this was like before people could burn CDs. He knew a way to burn CDs. And my man, all the songs is playing, and I'm with this lady, and who the lady is don't matter. I'm not talking. The interaction don't matter. What I'm talking about is the CD part. And so we get to our moment. And my man started talking like a DJ on a CD. Yeah, this is for my main man, Uncle Freezie. He probably hitting the skins right now. Shout out to my man. I was so embarrassed.
Oh man.
and then my roommate, my ill-mannered roommate that was on the other side. Back in the day, how you used to split the room or whatever, and we throw the curtain up or whatever, split the room. My roommate turn the lights on because you got the ambiance, you got the little candles or whatever. And my roommate turned the lights on, and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And the girl I'm with is looking at me like, "What's going on? What? You got a man talking on the tape, and your roommate coming over here looking at us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this ain't cool."
That's not it.
As long as nobody go out of camcorder.
Needless to say, I had to work like another month to get back in her good graces after that. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I can't
hit with the whammy. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
No whammies, no whammies.
Yeah. And my man started talking in his DJ voice on the CD. This is before, how
this before DJ Clue.
You know how back in the day at the job, a dude would be walking around selling CDs and stuff, or you at the barber shop, he do know how to make CDs. Nobody else know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? See, I didn't know that, but he was ahead of the curve. He burnt the CD. He's like, yo, she fine, bro. Everybody telling me I burnt you a CD, bro. I promise you this fire. And I didn't listen to the stupid CD before I played it. And then, you know what I'm saying, by the time you get to that adult moment or whatever, when you're about to do whatever it is that you're going to do, he started talking, yeah, this for my man, Uncle Freezie. Uncle Freezie probably wrapped up tight right now. And I'm like, look at you didn't. And I tell this story, I am bro, in my life, bro, I'm such a loser, bro. I am such bro, I've blown so many moments in my life, bro. I am like my life is like pure comedy. Now, mind you, my roommate, the one that turned the lights on and bust over there and was laughing, pointing in my face, he passed away, right? But the thing about that though is that he passed away like 4 years ago. But this was like 30 years ago. He ran out the room and told everybody what was happening. We are so mature, bro. Mature adults. When you like 21 years old, bro, you are so mature.
Wow.
But anyways, anybody else got a
Oh, I figured out what was one of the. I mean, it was a bunch because I was at that time. I was still pretty young.
Okay.
So I wasn't in the streets. So I was listening to a lot of radio, and I used to go to sleep to the radio, like and especially on them rainy nights.
Yeah.
I used to go to sleep to the radio, and I guess I would probably say Atlantic Star, Always.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was that was my joint. That was my jam.
Another one.
I had old
Another one that
ears.
Wow. Wow.
yeah, another one that a group that Alfred Griffin just brought up too was Mister, and I had one
Mr. Who?
Blackberry Molasses.
Oh,
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Yeah, Blackberry. Yeah, that was a good cut.
Yeah, man.
So that was tight. Yeah, I was like looking at it, I was like, oh, that was dope.
Yeah,
That Atlantic
man.
Star was dope too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man. There was so much music back then. I remember writing the lyrics to "Piece of My Love" on some trap. Yeah, anybody remember Trapper Keepers?
Of
Man, what?
course.
Yep.
Man, you were
Come
in there
on,
when you had
man.
a trapper keeper.
Man, I had the 5 subject.
Yo, I was like, I don't know why I still had it, but I had one. I didn't need it, but I had one, and I remember taking the loose leaf paper out of there and writing the lyrics to "Piece of My Love" on it and giving it to a girl. And she took that letter and read it out loud at work in front of her people. And I was standing there looking like, DSA, you know what it felt like, right? It felt like
Yeah.
it felt like that Fuji song, "Oh, Killing Me Softly." That's what it felt like. When she was reading that note, I was like strumming my pain with a finger. That's what I felt like.
I
And
figured,
here
I
she
figured you was,
was, this young girl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
hey, I figured you was up there like Dr. McCoy on Star Trek, Freezie. Damn it, Jim.
Yeah, I actually oh man. Yeah, no, that song. Yeah, I had a mixtape with that song included. Like it was basically a mixtape of like kind of you could say the B-side songs.
Okay.
So "Piece of My Love" at that time was more like a B-side song. Now it's grown to be an incredible song. Like everybody loves that song. But at that time, and it had like intros, funny how time flies. Is that what it is? It's something like that. Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
funny how time flies.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, that was
It
the
had
cut right there.
had like Babyface, "Where Will You Go?"
Oh yeah.
And it had Boys to Men, 50 Candles on. It had that joint was
50 Candles in my mind. 50 Candles and Trying Times to me, maybe the best slow jams they have ever done in my mind. Especially Trying Times, man.
I wouldn't doubt it. I agree with that. Although I do like Little Things too from the first album.
Yeah, that was a good cut
things
too,
of your love.
Oh, Your Love with the piano solo.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Boys and Men has had some great songs, man.
But of course, they're not the greatest group.
Of course not. It's Jodeci by far, bro.
Just got more great songs than Jodeci.
Yeah.
That's because Freezie's a homer.
Nah, man.
You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
even.
Anything with that Carolina thing.
Nah, man. I even though I do like Jodeci, I think "My Heart Belongs to You" is probably their best song. Right.
I agree.
It's an incredible song.
Yeah. And for those that have lived around the country, a lot of Quiet Storm stations lead their night off with "My Heart Belongs to You." You know what I'm saying? They replaced Smokey Robinson Quiet Storm with "My Heart Belongs to You" by Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah. I think as far as my favorite groups though, if you hold me down right now, even though I love the Spinners, I'm gonna say my favorite group at this moment, and I'm gonna reserve the right to change, but I do think it's Tony. I do because I listen. I think Sons of Soul is their piece de resistance.
Yeah, that album I think has been over. It got slept on.
Yeah.
That album was really slept on.
Yeah, I mean they have a song. The reason why I know it's Oakland Stroke, they have a song on there called My ex-girlfriend is a hoe.
Friend is hoe. Yes.
So when you listen to and they jamming, bro. My ex-girlfriend is a hoe. And you like, what is this?
Yeah, you know what? Tony is a wild group. That's no lie, because they're the same group that recorded Little Walter. So yeah, they're a wild group.
Yes.
And then they come out with Anniversary. They came out with
Anniversary. They're a wild group.
They're
a wild group.
Yes.
They put on good concert though. They put on a good concert. The song that came out here.
Yeah, they do. They do good. But and me and you, it's Raphael Sadiq is legit. Couldn't think of names, so he's like, not Ralph, not Bobby, not Ricky, not Mike, just me and you, baby. He naming dudes from New Edition in a song he recording, bro. Like you like how you if you don't believe that, man, Google it. Google Raphael Sadiq, me and you, New Edition, and when he tells the story about how he was so forgetful that all he could think about was the names of New Edition. He like not Ricky, not Johnny, not Mike, not Bobby, just me.
That's funny.
That's comedy, yeah, bro.
That's funny.
This dude is hilarious. Soulfinger, you got something to say to everybody before we wrap up and get out of here?
No, I just say, hey, first of all, shout out to you, Freezie, for it was kind of like a last minute thing, kind of spur of the moment. We were talking, and then it hit, and again, it flowed well. Ron, thanks for coming on with us and everything, rocking. Hey, my man, Sirius Lee, Corey Lee. Shout out to our man Bully and Chuck, the amazing Chuck, super producer.
Shout out to Chuck.
And then last, certainly not least, the Raheem Devon, the Smokey Robinson, D'Angelo of the pod world, DSJ. When he hits big, I'll be in this video. Hey, I'll be in this video just pointing like Snoop's uncle. Appreciate y'all coming up in here though. But it was always good chopping it up and everything. We talking about things that brings us together. And one thing is music, man. I don't care what era you from, what age. It's all the same, and then we putting things on to one another, bringing back good memories of songs and stuff, and then sending Ron away with some homework so he can go study. So
appreciate that.
Some stuff.
Ron knows a lot, though. Ron knows a lot.
Ron knows a lot because he was refreshing my memory, and I was like, "Ooh, let me write that down." And then also check out Jazzy Fat Nasties. I know you never heard of him.
Hold on. I gotta that one. I'm gonna have to write down. I'm gonna have to just Jazzy. I can't even believe that Jazzy Fat.
Yeah, it's Jazzy Fat Nasties. They kind of like they were neo soul before neo soul.
Yeah, check out Ex-Girlfriends too. Anybody remember Ex-Girlfriends?
Ex-Girlfriends. Hold on. That sounds familiar because I feel like I know them.
The lead singer. Why can't you come home? Home. Yeah, they could sing, bro. I think at first I thought they were better than In Vogue, but no, they're not.
No, but I'll say this real quick. Shout out to everybody that came through. Always a pleasure with our man Alfred Griffin. That's the music encyclopedia right there. The music of Triborough, Gigolo.
I think Triborough Gigolo is artificial intelligence, bro. No human being should know that much about music. No human being should know as much about music like that as Triborough Gigolo, bro. Yeah. Triborough Gigolo hits you with all these facts, bro. You're like, wow, I forgot that.
Oh, wow, and you got Jason Madden that was in the chat too. So hey, everybody, and our man Mega. So miss anybody? I don't want to, my apologies, I missed anybody, but hey, get the word out, man. We're gonna be coming back with more vibes, man.
When y'all want to do the movie review? Just real quick, because I feel like maybe we should set a schedule for the music stuff, like maybe twice a month or so. You know what I'm saying? Just jump in for like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody can kind of set their schedule and be prepared. And you want to talk about that? You want to talk about that off the camera?
Yeah, we get it there off camera. Try to set some stuff up.
Okay, and then that way, we can also do the music, the movie review.
Yeah,
because I can't wait to tear apart New Jack City.
Oh, I remember Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We still got New Jack City. We got Juice. We got Poison the Hood.
Try, I got you, bro. I got you. I can't wait. I can't wait to tear apart New Jack City, bro. New Jack City was so terrible. I cannot wait. That and Scarface. I can't wait to get my hands on Scarface, bro. Scarface was so terrible, bro. There's so many things in Scarface, bro. And I know people love Scarface, right? But I just can't wait to talk about the dysfunction.
Talk about Scarface. Like what?
Like what? Like
say hello to the bad guy.
Yeah. I think no, forget it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, forget it.
Thank y'all, everybody, for watching, hanging out with us. So we're going to try to do some variation of the shows. We don't know about a schedule. We have to set a schedule because everybody is so busy. In case you didn't know, the guys on the panel that's joining me, everybody's YouTubers in certain areas. Check out Ron from Still Knicks Fans. Still Knicks Fans is the name. Go subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button for every video. Go check them out. Comment. Put their the videos and stuff on link so you can play them as you do stuff around the house and just let them play. And Soulfinger, Corey Lee, DSJ, they are everywhere in Knicks universe. These are my guys. This channel, vibes and stuff belongs to everybody. I guess we try to do. It's like a all of us channel. So we're trying to get some content to put up, some interesting stuff to talk about. And we have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. It's just getting these schedules together. So thank y'all again for watching, man. We out of here. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.